Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, and good night, wherever you are joining us. This is Brunch Boxing. I am your host, Ezra. We have the return of the CEO, the Mexican Al Heyman. Mike, how you doing today?
Oh, great day. This event I think a lot of us are looking forward today, so I'm excited.
And in that window right there, will be at some point, I believe, the third man, right? The third man. Who will he be here for? We don't
Who's the
know.
third man? Who's the third man?
Third man right there, Matt. And when he joins us, I'll redo his introduction. You know that. He'll complain about the show, how it's ran so far. He'll complain about what we talked about. But right now, let's get started. We got our producer, Huey, here. You see him right here in the top corner. I actually like that, Huey. I just noticed that right now. I noticed you're here in the top corner. I like that a lot, actually. But we got a big fight today. Huge fight, huge card. I know that people don't really care about the card, but I do think that whenever you have a big fight and you got a really good second fight in there, I think it's a good card. We have Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford, a fight that I wasn't too hyped about when they first announced it, but you guys talked me into it. Every time I think I'm out, you guys pull me back in because I wasn't excited for this fight. I didn't think this was a conversation to be had, but people have convinced me this is a 50-50 fight. At least in people's mind. People think, I think a lot of people leaning Terence Crawford's way. And I think a lot of people be surprised Terence Crawford loses this fight. Not me. That's not what I feel. What are you feeling right now, Mike? What are you feeling?
Oh, same with you. I laugh, how everybody was upset at an exhibition, and I'm like, what do you think we're watching? When anybody says they dare to be great, I think we've seen it. It never ends up great. So, but like I said, the people's promotion has got me. I'm with you too. I'm now 50-50. Whoever wins, I want to celebrate as the number one P4P fighter in the world.
Oh no.
Yes, I'm going that far, Ezra. I am that sold.
Let's pump the brakes. Let's pump the brakes. But I will say this, right? Oh, look who joined us. Look at John. Let me stop the.
Hold on. No. Hold on. How the fuck you say that you need 5 minutes and then y'all start the fucking show without me? What rundown y'all using? Because let me tell you right now, I have built the greatest rundown in the history of this show, and you fucks start the show without me.
We don't even know because we haven't even seen it yet. So
look, fucking Mike with his hair perfectly coiffed, looking like $1 million. Let's go, Mike. Yo, everybody's ready. Today's the day.
Today's the day.
We want to go back to the original data. You want to start the show over? You can give your intro.
No, fuck that. I hope he did a good intro.
He did a great one.
I hope he did a good intro. I hope his intro was a lot better than that fucking video he dropped in the middle of the night yesterday, which was, listen, Ezra, when I watched those videos, I was expecting them to show up at my house because you completely mailed it in. Mailed it in.
Let me tell you what happened. You guys had a bunch of opinions on how these videos should look, right? Everybody said they're too long. I'm doing 3-minute videos. Everybody says they're too long. And then you said, it better be 2 parts. I want 2 videos. So I make a video, right, as tight as can be. As tight as can be. I'm cutting all the fat. There's no fat on it, right? There's no fat on it. And then everybody says that's too short. Why'd you make 2 videos?
Ezra, this was supposed to be like a centerpiece for Fight Week. You've been working on it for months.
I wanted it to be. If you've seen the first one I shot, it was beautiful. It had explanations. It had the reason how I got there.
So where's that video?
I cut it out because you guys said make it shorter. But I told you.
Did you delete it?
I said that's going to be about 15 minutes.
Did you delete it?
Oh, no one's going to watch that.
Did you delete it?
No, I mean, it's on YouTube, but it's on my phone. It's on my phone for sure.
Please put those up instead. Put those up directly after the show. Because honestly, I didn't even want to complain. I just decided to not speak yesterday. I was like, you know what? Let me just shut up. I don't want to complain. This was that was one of the worst videos you've ever done, Ezra. Or like I clicked on the video. I'm excited about this. Then I was like, these videos are pretty short. Let's see what's going on here. All it is you reading a list.
But you realize that that's what you guys asked me to do, right?
To just read the list? No,
That's exactly what
that's
you
the
do.
opposite of
Make
what
it
I asked
short.
you to do.
You're over talking. You talk too much. Now, when I do that, you guys have a problem.
Ezra. You don't. So this wasn't supposed to be a short. This wasn't supposed to be a short. If you were gonna do a short, you could have did a 30-second video on each individual fight, where you could just do a quick hit of what the fight was, when the fight was, who won the fight, and did 10 separate videos. That's what I was saying you should do.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Yeah, let's get a bullshit.
I will never listen to you guys again. I'm gonna do whatever video the way I feel like doing it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. I hated those videos. When I did them and I put them, I was like, I hate this.
I hated it too.
This is trash.
I thought it was trash too.
I'm gonna delete them.
Hey,
So
listen.
If you haven't seen them,
you know what? I was gonna tell you to delete them too.
Yeah, if you haven't seen them, by the end of this show, they will be gone. So if you haven't seen them, go look now because they won't be again. And you know what?
Please don't look. We don't want to lose subscribers. Please don't look. Please.
Oh man.
You got a little chata there, latte. What we got going on there, Ezra?
No, my wife got this. What the hell is this?
No free ads. No free ads.
It's doing the trick. It's not the best, but it does the trick. All right, Matt. Let's get to this amazing rundown.
Okay, I'm gonna send it to you guys. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Was this rundown so amazing that you had to be late today?
I wasn't late. I was waiting on you actually.
Well, at 8 o'clock, I said give me 5.
Check, hold on. If you check one of the group chats that we're in together, you would see what I was doing while I was waiting for you.
Let's see here. Oh, well, yeah, I saw that. I
yeah, okay. So shut the fuck up.
Hey.
Yeah.
All right, time to restart the show.
No. Fuck that. Leave it all in. Pause.
Everything here. Honestly, Matt, I thought this was part of your gimmick.
Yeah, we clean house. We clean house. We deal with that personal stuff in front of everyone. We don't hide anything on this show.
All right, so Ezra, I just texted you the rundown, Ezra.
All right.
Let me text it to Miguelito, and then I will put it in the group chat also.
You could just put it in the group chat, man. Like I'm in the group chat, so
sometimes you don't read the group chat, Mike.
I always read the group chat. You never get back.
All right,
to me
sometimes I don't read the group chat.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. You got your work cut out for you today, Ezra.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
All right.
I might trim the fat from this rundown. I might trim the fat.
When I say this is the ultimate guide, to today's event. Okay.
All right. So are we going or? You gotta understand that I'm like a pit bull behind a fence. You gotta understand. I'm just chopping at the bits. He's got to open that gate. You know what I mean? And then I get going. There's no stopping me. You understand that me going live? That's where it's at. These videos, that's okay. I just do that for content. But me going live, that's where it's at. It's like I'm chopping at the bits to get going, and you got me right here. You just have me looking at the. You know what? I almost did something super crazy right now. And I got rid of doing the pause thing, but I almost did something so crazy right now. I'm not going to repeat what I was about to say, but man, that would have been insane. I would have been.
Yeah, please don't. Please don't.
It would have been all over Twitter what I said right now. How possible it would have been. Matt, are you seeing your rundown for the first time?
He could be.
Am I seeing it for the first time?
Yeah, I don't get what's going on. Like, can we get going here?
What do you mean? Hey, Joy Taylor.
Hey, all right. So I thought Ezra was leading the charge. You sent it to Ezra. Also, stop that nickname.
That is a great nickname. That is a great nickname.
All right. So Ezra,
you
you had already started. So let's keep it going. We got the ultimate guide to Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez. Let's start with how we got here. How did we get to this fight?
We got here two different things for both guys. For Canelo, he doesn't want to fight Benavidez. Now, we're not going to beat that drum over and over again. We just know.
Yes, we are, and we should. Yes, okay. We are, and we should.
Well, I've been doing it for a long time, and you've been defending that he's going to. But whatever. You don't want to fight Benavidez. Now, if you look at the options for him, there's not a lot of other options for him that are big fights and mega fights. This is probably the last one. I think this is the last Canelo mega fight we're ever going to see. Okay, maybe he's going out on the highest level, but this is the last one we're going to see. So that's how we got it for Canelo. This is the last option to do a mega fight for him, and it took bringing a guy up 2 weight classes to do it. For Terence Crawford, it's obviously the biggest fight that he could do. So, okay, there's that. But there's also the thing where what I'm saying is Terence Crawford's resume is not deep. It's not a great resume. It's a good resume. It's a good resume, but it's not a great resume. It's not an all-time resume. And it's a guy that we really believe is an all-time talent. His resume doesn't really match up with that. Canelo Alvarez would be the guy to make his resume an all-time resume. This is an all-time win. Okay, this puts him in the conversations with guys where we say, "Hey, I thought that Terence Crawford was the best I've ever seen, and if he beats Canelo Alvarez today, then you can really have that conversation, have the backing up to do it." So that's how I think we got here. It's the last payday for probably both guys, but it's also means something for Terence Crawford's career. To me, it really doesn't mean anything for Canelo's career. It really don't mean anything. But it's just a big payday, and it's a big fight other than the Benavidez fight.
You know, here's the thing, right? To me, the Benavidez fight, I've already decided, win, lose, or draw, is going to be an albatross over Canelo Alvarez's neck. He had to take the fight. It was the one fight the fans really, really wanted. We've been clamoring for it. I've been defending Canelo for God knows how long, making an ass of myself, okay? Because I assumed that Canelo would fight Benavidez because that's who I thought Canelo was. I always thought Canelo Alvarez was the biggest gangster in boxing. So do you know what happens when you assume? You make an ass out of you and me. And Canelo, you made an ass out of you and me. And listen, I'm excited about tonight's fight, but I can't pretend like I don't wish it was Benavidez in there tonight. I can't pretend. You know, I'm going to love this fight. I'm going to love the pomp and circumstance. I'm going to be there cheering for both guys. I'm going to love the walkouts. Hopefully, Canelo walks out to Por Mi Mexico, the remix. I hope he walks out to that so I could do my Corditos dance. Okay? I hope Terence Crawford walks out to Shaka Khan, Ain't Nobody, so I could get my two-step on. I hope they do everything they're supposed to do. But it should have been David Benavidez. It
100%.
should have been
100%. Do you think this fight is bigger than the Benavidez fight as far as like attention?
Fuck no.
I don't think so either. I think people would think that, but I don't think so. I think if you would have had the Benavidez fight, I think there would have been more anticipation for it. I think there would have been more conversation for it. And I think there would have been more buzz for it.
If we would have got Benavidez versus Canelo Alvarez, I would have been afraid for all of Texas, California, Arizona, Nevada, and all of Mexico, because this would have been another Mexican Civil War. I'll tell you that right now. This would have been, oh my gosh, the Mexicans versus the Mexicans Americans, the No Sabes versus the Habla Españols, the Mikes versus the Ezras. It would have been something else, man. It would have been something else.
Now,
oh man.
So are you with me now that this is gonna be him not having the Benavidez fight is gonna leave a bad taste in everybody's mouth on his career?
Yes.
You're not gonna be able to talk about his career without talking about the fight not happening.
100%. Because I can't even think about Canelo without thinking about Benavidez.
Okay. Perfect. I mean, I think that's true. That's 100% true.
I'm not gonna lie. Everybody's telling me this is 50-50. I'm going to treat it like a 50-50. This might be the greatest day ever for whoever wins tonight. So might be a little bit unbearable, but watch the timeline after the fight.
I'm curious, Mike.
Let me ask you a question.
Oh, go ahead.
In the race war that's going to happen after this fight is over, whose side are you on?
You know what? It sounds like we done joined teams to defeat MAGA out there. So, as long as we're defeating the colonizers,
Hey, what Trump said? Bing bong, Bing bong. Oh shit. Oh boy, let me stop
we got
before
a question from
before the big
Neutral
gum
at
little
Red
teeth
Corner
people come after us.
We got a question from Neutral at Red Corner Boxing. Speaking of Benavidez and Canelo, do you think that would be a bigger event than the Crawford?
Yeah, we said that. Neutral, if you're paying attention to the show,
is we paying
we
attention
said
to the
that.
show?
I missed it. I was producing.
If you wanted to, if you
That's
wanted
our
to
job.
do
I respect it, Huey. I respect it.
Huey went pootie tang on us.
And then we do also
shit.
have, before we get too far into the weeds here, we did have a question from Juan. What do you guys want to happen in this fight?
Ooh, that is a good question.
We'll get to that.
All right. So that's
we will get to
that's
all
in the
questions.
ultimate rundown. The ultimate rundown doesn't miss one thing. It doesn't miss one thing. It has everything.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
All right, let's go to the next part.
Man. So Ezra,
right.
let me ask you, Ezra. What, in your estimation, are your thoughts on like the fight week festivities? You know, they had the grand arrivals, they had the final press conferences, they had the weigh-in. What were your thoughts on basically the festivities surrounding the event?
I kind of expected more. I got to be honest with you.
What?
Man, that's a question for me, man. I go to the damn fights. This guy doesn't go to fights like that.
Well,
like,
I'm just gonna say. Listen,
you can't even compare it.
I was told that Dana White and the UFC are the best promoters in fighting. I was told they're the best. I'm told that they're doing things so different, so outside the box that the boxing promoters couldn't even keep up. Well, it turns out they're just doing the exact same thing that most boxing promoters do. I mean, I don't see really extreme creativity here. I don't see that. I just see a fight that really sells itself, and they're just kind of letting it sell itself. I don't see that, oh, yeah, I can feel the TKO experience on this. I feel the TKO's touch on this. That's not true. I don't feel that. I feel like it's just this fight's a big fight no matter what, and they're just letting it be what it's going to be. I'm not saying that's a bad move, but I just was told so many other things about the production, the promotion, what these guys do. It's so different. It's so great. Boxing promoters are so behind. Well, hell, you just did everything boxing promoters done forever. So I don't understand. So how are they so behind and you copy them step for step? That's my thoughts on it. I just thought I expected more. I got to be honest.
Man, let me share you my thoughts. One, it was great to see Dana White getting cooked. It started off everything good. That weigh-in made me, I was like, man, I got to get out there. I was ready to take a flight this morning. Like that, they had it packed. Probably most fighters don't see a crowd like that, even at their own fights. They did something right because everybody showed up. So they did something right. I don't know if they're going to get 80K to show up or whatever that the Legion Stadium, but they were able to bring 12 at least. And that showed me they're doing something right.
Well, I mean, what they did right was they made the fight. I mean, really, you don't think you could put the fight in any promoter's hands. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But But you could have made the fight. You got to remember one thing. Dana White didn't even make the fight. Dana White didn't make the fight. Turkey did.
Like, hold on, but Ezra, we're not giving Dana White credit.
No, I know that, But what I'm saying is, I don't even think that their promotion isn't creative. There's nothing out there that I'm like, oh wow, they did this or they got these guys here. No, they didn't do that. The fight's just big itself. So that's all I'm saying. It's like these fight week festivities. I don't think are great. Anyone would have did this. What do? You do grand arrivals, you do a weigh-in, you do a final press conference, and you do a fight. I mean, that's anyone does. And I gotta be honest with you.
I don't agree with you.
And honestly, the press conference was pretty much butchered. I mean, it was. I mean, you're lucky that Max Kellerman went over there and undersold the sport and sold it out to the extent the UFC was better. So I mean, like I'm saying, these guys are to me have kind of screwed this up. It's just the fight's too big to screw up. It really is.
I think Ezra's upset because UFC got embarrassed this weekend. Trying to talk about it. Dana White.
I'm the one pointing it out.
It was a great week for boxing. Shout out to Sean putting his foot down. Shout out to Canelo.
But you put that on. Mike, you put that on the promotion. You say it's a great week for boxing because of the promotion of this fight.
Sometimes there's stupidity.
But hold on.
I
just asked you about the fight week festivities.
That's what I'm saying.
Hold on, but Ezra, I'm not asking you to assign credit to anyone. Hey, let's give Dana White a pat on the back. No, but we do have to give Turkey Al-Sheikh and Stella and Canelo and Crawford a pat on the back for putting together such a great event. This is a huge event.
Well, then that has nothing to do with fight week festivities, and that's just okay. Yeah, they signed up for a fight.
Bro. So you don't think having the 2 cards the week of the fight was out of the ordinary?
I don't know if people watched it. I don't think that made a dent. I got to be honest with you. What they should have did, if you're going to do that, put fights that people want to see on there. I mean, that's honest truth. I don't.
You don't think having the undisputed video game tournament made a dent?
They cut the crap, Matt.
What do you mean? So here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Maybe it's because we're not down there, but I've gotten reports from a lot of people boots on the ground, and the in-person experience, the fan experience is excellent out there.
Okay. All right, I'm not there.
I don't know. I don't know what if it's not translating into the audience because we're in the boxing Twitter bubble. But from what I've been told, first of all, I was told the hoe's been out there since Monday. The hoe's been out there since Monday. Like one of my homies told me that this looked like Mexican Freaknik. I was like, let's go.
Hey, there's some things I heard, that they had some girls, that were,
We do have someone on the ground in Vegas joining us right now, host of the Boxing Source, longest running boxing podcast on YouTube, J.R. Bell, JBZ.
JBZ.
Yo, mic check 1 2 3. What's happening?
That's good, my guy.
Yeah, man. Just about to prepare to get to this Box Fan Expo thing, and then off to the fights with the ticket. Tip for some of y'all:
Pause.
Good thing comes to those who wait. All right.
What that means?
Right. That means a reference to tickets, bro. A reference to tickets, y'all.
That's what I said.
Say that. What you're saying is that you got your ticket for the low.
Oh. Yes, sir. Hey, like Rick Ross be saying, for the low. Yep, I get it for the low.
All right, see, listen. Well, I don't want to get.
Let's skip that part.
Upset at me because I got the ticket. People pissed at me when I was talking about the tennis stadium event because I knew what was going on behind the scenes.
Because I could talk about that event too, but let's skip that part.
Shout out to Jim Boone and Chris, a bunch of numbers. You ticket scalpers who try to pretend like my info was wrong. Whole time you guys had a vested interest because you guys were selling tickets behind the scenes. But we won't get into that.
Whoops. All right.
Listen,
man.
Anyway, what's the atmosphere out there? We don't care about the tickets. Tell us about the atmosphere.
Man, I mean, they're like at T-Mobile for of course the press conference and the weigh-in. It was looking like big and stuff like that. It just feels different to me because, of course, some people would accuse one of the hosts of Brunch Boxing to be favorite, like biased towards a certain promotional entity. But given how many events are done based around a certain MGM Grand, like not having these events around there just makes it feel weird to me. And to have it in like a new hotel or whatever it is, and not seeing banners all over the place and that type of stuff, it just feels weird. And even though you see like a lot of people there for the press conference and for and for the weigh-in and that type of stuff, for some reason for me, it just doesn't feel like a fight week. I don't know why.
Interesting. I mean, that's from someone who's covering the sport. It's a little different like that. He's not there to be entertained.
Mike,
I mean, I was curious about the Fountain Blue thing. Although I've stayed there before, and of course I enjoyed it. I was curious on why they had all the activities out there.
Mike, you see my hands up right here, Mike?
Yes, I do see your hands up.
You see my hands up right here? What did I tell you? You don't need boots on the ground when you got a good eye. When you got a good eye, you don't need boots on the ground. You can just feel it.
All right, hold on. Let me ask you a question. JBZ, the Boxing Source.
Mm-hmm.
Are the hoes out?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They out. Oh yeah,
you don't see me right now, Ezra, but I got one hand up and my other hand in my pants.
Okay.
The hose is out.
Oh,
The hose is out.
This
The
is
hose
a
is
family
out.
show, Matt. This
Hey,
is
the
a
hose
family
is out.
show.
Man. What are
Slow
we
down.
doing?
What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Listen,
Chinga tu
man.
madre.
No.
Yeah.
What's wrong with this guy?
No.
What's wrong with
Yeah.
this guy?
This is a
And
morning
Viva
show.
Mexico, cabrones.
Number one, this is a morning show, and I know that the setting is made not for kids on this thing, but come on, Matt. We can't be doing this, man. Come on, man.
Jay Beezy, is the Raza in full effect out there?
Oh yeah,
Because they usually don't show up until today. So if they're out there early, that means they're excited for this one.
Nah, they were out there. Like you seen there for the weigh-in. I don't know if you saw the video that I posted yesterday with people getting into the weigh-in. That was absolutely a crazy scene, right? Because one, I expected them to like open the doors like at about 5:30 p.m. local time, right? And they didn't necessarily open the doors to like 5:45 or close to 6. And that was when the weigh-in was basically starting, right? So all of that madness trying to get in there. And I mentioned like a couple of people within media were having issues trying to get in through media because one, the timing, and two, it's like if the box office closed at a certain time, then you can't like get the band to get in and that type of stuff. So you have to go elsewhere in order to get in. And some folks like it took them a long time to get in. So it was crazy. Some didn't even make it.
Did you see?
Hate to see it, but the people who did make it seemed very excited about what was going on. So that's all that matters to me. The fan experience. I think the reason why maybe Ezra didn't see the promotion that he wanted to see was because this is on Netflix. It's not pay-per-view, Nobody has to pay for it.
No,
this is a fight that sells itself. And you saw a lot of cross promotion with UFC, with WWE, with all the TKO properties,
Right.
So I think this promotion, it's a lot better than you think. Last week, Huey was watching NFL game, Thursday Night Football, I think it was, and he saw commercials for it during the NFL game.
Yeah, Sunday Night Football as well. And I think that people that is one thing that I do think is really huge that people kind of like have been downplaying. The WWE and the UFC having all those two major things, being able to just promote this fight and throw commercials out for it and everything.
Yeah,
that's a lot of eyeballs. I mean, that is a lot of eyeballs that you're getting on the fight. It's a huge advantage to have that.
Yeah, they're investing a lot of money on the marketing and promotion for this particular event, and having like I was mentioning there, TKO be involved with it. They could use like a UFC event, like they've had UFC events earlier this week, or WWE that had their event yesterday over at what was that, Thomas and Mack Center, UNLV. So that gives them multiple opportunities to push the fight and promote it.
Beezy, you touched on the weigh-in a bit and how that experience was. Anything that you took away from the press conference before we go on to the next topic with this fight?
As far as like, well, of course, shout out to Sean Zattel for one. The other one, well, with the press conference, it wasn't anywhere close to how the weigh-in was as far as like the atmosphere is concerned. There was like a late crowd getting there for it, but particularly because of the the undercard pressure being first and then the main event. But like the way that they handled as far as like questions were concerned, at least people were able to get as many questions as possible on that. I thought that was like a little bit different, but you didn't necessarily see what I would say, quote unquote, old school media really like ask questions there in a sense. Like, the journalists like, pen the paper or typewriter, that type of stuff. You didn't see them really ask questions there. It was mainly like people that you see, on a YouTube or social media type atmosphere.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it is. He mentioned Sean, Ezra, Matt. You guys, Mike kind of brought it up earlier. You guys touched on it briefly. Do you guys have anything to say about that before we move on to storylines going into the fight?
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then let's go in. We talked about the fight week festivities. We talked about kind of the press week weigh-in here, what the buzz is going into the fight. What do you guys see the storylines here now that we're on Saturday fight day? What do you see the storylines going into this bout are?
I think that the storyline for this fight is how much more skilled is Crawford than Canelo, because I think that's been a common thing. Was like, I think everybody kind of agrees that Crawford's more skilled than Canelo, but what's the gap here now, right? Because a gap to move up 2 weight classes and to beat Canelo, you have to be a pretty wide skill gap in order to do that. So I think that's a big conversation. And what we need to see in the ring is how much more skilled does he look than him. Also,
let me ask you a question, because I've been hearing people say that a lot. Crawford's more skilled. Are we sure Crawford's more skilled than Canelo, or are we equating versatility with skill?
That's a great question, because I think that is a conversation that we get mixed up a lot. That a guy could do more in the ring, but there's a guy that does one thing and is probably could be more effective. I do think Crawford is more skilled than Canelo. If I had to pick it, right, that doesn't mean it's a guaranteed thing, but I think he is more skilled than him. But I do think that in these type of fights, when you have the smaller man move up, when the guy's more skilled, the smaller man's more skilled. The first 3 rounds, he usually controls the fight. The first 3 rounds, he's usually able to control the fight, and then the size will weigh in. I'm curious the first 3 rounds what this looks like. Do we really see the skill gap, or is Canelo kind of underrated? Are we kind of underrating what Canelo could do in the ring? Because I think that there's a bit of that. I think we're kind of underrating what Canelo could do in the ring. I know it's a little bit one-dimensional, but it's pretty damn effective. He's pretty good with his timing. He's pretty good at setting stuff up. He's really good at reading patterns, and he's really good at setting up openings. Like he's one of the best guys at setting up openings. He sets up openings really well, and he does little motions to get you to open up. So I think that's a really, to me, the biggest conversation is like, how far is the skill gap?
Yeah. I don't think there's a wide skill gap, as people say. I just think that Crawford's a bit more versatile, and he's a bit more quick on his feet. But the things that Canelo do really well, I don't think Crawford's better than him at it. I don't think Crawford's a better counterpuncher than Canelo. I don't think that Crawford has better punch placement than Canelo. I think they're about neck and neck with that. I think where Crawford's advantages are with his length, his jab, and his movement. Those are his advantages. Does that mean he's more skilled? I'll say he's more athletic than Canelo. I don't know if it means he's more skilled, though. So if we're talking about a skill gap, and is the skill gap great enough for Crawford to overcome, I'm not too sure about that. But that's why they fight the fights, and we'll find out tonight.
Yeah, I think you got to have a great jab to beat Canelo, and it's got to be fast. You've seen the guys who've done that really give him problems. I'm eager to see if Crawford's jab is at the level of the other guys who've given Canelo problems. I don't think it is, but I think his quickness on his feet, it's going to help him out.
It's going to be about the experience level there for Canelo Alvarez. Skill is, as they say, subjective. It's just going to be the experience level for Canelo. And if he's going to see what Crawford does and try to set traps, because a lot of times Canelo will try to set traps. And as you mentioned it, Ezra, try to get the opponent to open up so that he can, catch him with a, counter shot or whatever it is, like we've seen him be able to do in order to score knockdowns in his recent fight. So that's what I'm going to be looking for early in this fight. But with for Crawford, it's basically going to be how is he going to use his reach advantage. He has a pretty good reach advantage here. So is that going to have him, use his foot movement and timing a little bit, to kind of throw Canelo off? Because, Bivol had that reach advantage, but also had that good height advantage to really throw off the rhythm of Canelo Alvarez. And I'm going to look to see if Terence Crawford is able to do the same early.
Yeah, I think both what everyone said as far as Ezra and Matt, and then what JBZ added there for Terence Crawford at the end is really it. Kind of, Bud setting up with the jab and working off of that, using his feet and the advantage he has with the quickness there, and then Canelo looking to counter and expose those opportunities that he might have when Crawford's attacking and opening up.
Yeah, also, and maybe we'll get into like the fight breakdown later. But a thing I point out is I know a lot of people are pointing out certain fights to be like that this is what Crawford's gonna fight, like to win this fight. Those fights are kind of fights that Crawford doesn't fight usually. another thing that Crawford does is when he commits to offense, he really commits to offense. He's not like Floyd Mayweather where his offense and then straight to defense, and then he's setting up a shot to get him out of position to make sure he's safe. When Crawford commits to offense, he's really committing. He's really planting down to do some damage. For him
Now,
to do that,
you say that Crawford really commits to offense. Could that be because he has issues switching between offense and defense?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think that he's like I said, he sets himself in position. You're talking about this, Matt. He sets himself up in position where you would come up to basically you commit, and then he could commit with his offense. That's always been his style. To get away from that is not easy, and that's what he's always done best. He's done that in the Porter fight. Like you notice when he finishes the Porter fight, that's what he does in the fight. He gets Porter to jump in. He takes a step back and fully commits to make his power and the shots mean something. In this fight, to do that is pretty risky, especially if your shots don't mean that much against Canelo, because Canelo's going to catch you in between something. He's going to exchange with you. Those are risky things to do.
Now,
Right.
let's break it all down. Okay, how do you see this fight going?
I think that a fight that's been brought up a lot is the Jermell Charlo fight, and I know there's a debate there, and people got mad at me because I said that I think he came to win the fight. Just once he got in the ring and realized it wasn't possible, and played it safe after that point, right? Like said, I got to make it to the decision here. I'm curious if Crawford gets to that position, right? Because I think Crawford's too small. I think Crawford's too small to exchange with Canelo. I think he's too small to eat the shots on the guard consistently, and I'm curious how he feels with those body shots. So if Crawford says, I'm still going to commit to this, I'm still going to look to exchange and land something to change this fight, I mean, it might get bad for him. I think Canelo's too big for him. I think Canelo's still pretty skilled too, and I don't see Crawford having a style like Floyd. I don't see Crawford being effective with his shots like Bavola is, who's a bigger man. I don't see that. So I think that Canelo is going to be able to march Crawford down. I think Crawford will have success at points, but I think the shots will mean too much. And I think once Crawford feels it, even on the guard, and says, I can't stand here for this, he'll become a little bit more tentative. Now, I'm not saying that he completely runs and everything like that, but I think that he's kind of realizes I can't take as much chances as I want, and I think Canelo wins a decision here.
What are your thoughts, Mikey?
I'm the same. Eventually, I actually think Canelo gets hit, and then it just realizes it doesn't hurt, and then he just moves forward. We're in Las Vegas, so you know how the judges like that. I got Canelo winning it 7-5. I think exactly, Crawford eventually pulled the Mikey Garcia. The Charlo is like, okay, I just need to get out of here. Standing on my own too. So, I mean, that's how I thought about the fight from the get-go. I like the Tank exhibition better than this one, to be honest.
Hey, Huey, who do you think is going to win this fight and how?
So this fight, I wavered back and forth on picking this one. I ended up picking Canelo by decision. Very similar to what Mike said. I think that Crawford might have some success early, winning some rounds. But once Canelo realizes that, well, I'm assuming Canelo is going to realize Bud's punches aren't affecting him as much as, they maybe Bud thought they would. And eventually there's going to be a combination of the physical pressure from Canelo, because the punches are going to feel different at 168, the mental pressure from the aggression he's going to put on, and then also the extra weight on Crawford's body. I don't know how his body's going to react to. We've never seen him weigh in at 167.5 pounds, and I don't know what he's going to weigh in tonight in the ring.
You know what? I need my camera on for this one. Hold on. Let me get right. Let me get right. All right. We're going to get right for this one. Okay.
I was just hoping you had a shirt on. I was like, this guy got a shirt on. Like,
yeah. So,
I can't see both hands, but I just hope. I hope
Don't show the hands. Do not show the hands, please.
So here's the thing, right? I know you guys think that this is my gimmick, and that I just say this just to say this. This fight is not going to go the way you think this fight is going to go. I think after seeing all the press conferences, after seeing the weigh-in, hearing these guys talk to each other, seeing the way these guys looked into each other's eyes, I think Bud Crawford will be victorious tonight.
Oh, wow.
And not only will he be victorious, he will be victorious in a dominant fashion.
Oh, wow. What a pick. What a pick.
There's an old adage in boxing that a good big un beats a good small un. You know, they say, hey, you got a highly skilled small fighter, a highly skilled big fighter is going to beat him. The bigger guy's going to win, right? But this is not a good big un versus a good small un. This is a good big un versus an all-time great small un. And for my money, I will never, ever bet against Terence Crawford again. Okay? I've seen the look in his eyes. He's like crazy eye Bud. He's crazy eye Bud right now. Okay? He seems like he will not be denied. And somehow, some way, with the perfect game plan from Brian Bo McIntyre, Terence Bud Crawford is going to pull off the upset, and he's going to etch himself in history as one of the 20 greatest boxers to ever live.
I would not be mad. I would not be upset if Terence Crawford won tonight.
I can definitely see that being possible.
Yeah.
This is the most friendly I've ever seen him, man. This is the most friendly I've ever seen him on a fight. Like, they're talking about each other's kids. I mean, they've been buddy. Like, I'm pretty sure they hung out together already. So
I want to point out.
This might be a new strategy that Bud has. I've just never seen it, but I'm going to trust you. You would know more than me.
I want to point out something. Matt swayed the start of this place that he was going a certain direction. I want you to know that. So I'm not saying that Matt wasn't honest with his opinions to this point, but I think he swayed it. I think he looked like he was leaning this way. This was like Vince McMahon.
A pump fake.
Yeah, he went this way and then faked it completely the other way because he was just telling me that he wasn't even sure Crawford was more skilled than Canelo. Now he's picking Crawford by a wide margin in the fight. So to me, I'm not. Hey, listen here, right? No one's ever said this is the smartest man in the world. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, if I'm trying to weighing it out here, I'm like, well, where did this come from?
Just handsome. But what I will say is, and don't get mad at me, Raza. I'm still down with Raza. Mi gente.
Hey, we know who we're attacking now.
Don't be surprised if Canelo gets stopped tonight.
All right, now you go. Now
I would be surprised if I saw that.
I would be surprised.
Well, okay. Well, okay.
Don't be surprised.
Do something for clicks. But let me tell you something.
Okay.
I right now, there is no chance.
Don't be surprised if Canelo gets.
I wouldn't say no chance. I'll be very surprised, but you can't say that there's no chance. This is boxing.
You can't say there's no chance.
There's absolutely no chance.
This is boxing.
Ezra, you don't think he can stop with a body shot?
No, I don't. I don't think there's no chance. Canelo gets
stopped. It's gonna. It would. If anything, for Crawford to get that, it would be waived by the referee or the corner.
This is a man.
It's not going to go down.
Overwhelming him, and the rep steps in.
Overwhelming. So like how? Well,
wow.
Say it like Spence without the knockdowns. Okay, think Spence without the knockdowns.
This is a man who's eating shots, clean shots from Triple G. Like
Triple G, come on, man. Come on, man.
I mean, let's be honest here.
You Devil? Are we talking about you Devil?
Yeah, this is a man who has one of the best chins of boxing. Probably has
the right hand from Triple G is a good argument.
He has
clean
the
right
best
hands in both fights.
Yeah, let me say something. This is the best chin in boxing. He ain't getting stopped tonight.
Hold on.
Well,
Triple G.
You know what?
Hold on. Triple G might be a stronger puncher than Terence Crawford for one punch, but he doesn't put punches together like Terence Crawford.
Yeah,
hold on. He doesn't have the punch placement that Terence Crawford has.
Bro, if you even look at here's something I want to point out.
Now,
in the Madrimov fight, Crawford looked small in that fight. I'm going to tell you right now. In the Madrimov fight, he looked small in that fight. His punches don't mean the same in that fight. His punches do not mean the same in that fight. Their punches are not going to mean the same 2 more weight classes up against the best chin in boxing. I'm sorry. People talking themselves into this stoppage is one of the most ridiculous takes that I've heard in boxing in a long time. Okay, and it's not just Matt. A lot of people are picking Crawford like I think a stoppage is possible here. It's not. Okay, maybe him outboxing him and winning a decision, that is possible. I agree with you. But
Hey,
him winning
listen.
stoppage is not.
The fisherman is back, and on tonight's menu is tacos de pescado. Okay.
Oh
The
my
fisherman
God!
is back.
I'm talking
Hey,
to La Raza right now.
Hey man,
I'm talking to La Raza right
listen.
now. That's the man we go after this
Man.
fight. That's the man right there we go after this fight. I'm talking to La Raza right now.
Ezra, you got to point the other direction.
For me, it's this way. It's not this way for you guys?
No, your camera's mirrored, remember?
No, Ezra, you're pointing to the right guy. Go after Mike.
Really? For me,
No.
For me, I can screenshot this. Matt's this way.
I believe we're not doing tech support right now. We got a show to do.
So Matt's this way.
Oh man, hey,
I've been pointing this way the whole time.
Yeah. I was just gonna let it go, but
Mike better watch his back.
Hey,
Mike better watch his back in Stockton.
Oh God.
So
hey yo,
what's your guys' great or JBZ actually? Did you give your pick for this fight?
No, I didn't.
Give his pick.
Well, I've been. Hey, where's it posted? Hey,
pick
where the video
posted
at?
On the Brunch Boxing YouTube and timeline immediately following the show.
I don't care about that. Go ahead and give us your pick now, though, Jared.
Come on, man, dog. We can't. No. You know what?
We gotta give the people a reason to watch the video.
Listen, they're not even going to the. They're not even going to the YouTube channel after that Ezra video anymore. Come on, like.
Oh no, man,
right.
We can't be doing spoiler alerts, man. Come on, yo. Hey,
all right.
Well, let's go through the. Let's go through the bet odds. I'll say something.
That's exactly what I wanted to do next too, because Matt said
that's a great point.
Matt said he wouldn't be surprised if Bud got a stoppage, so that made me start looking. Now, these odds have changed a lot since they first opened. All right, I believe when they first opened, Canelo was at I know that Bud was at a plus 190 and Canelo was at a minus 240. These odds have now shifted to where Terence Crawford is a plus 142 on fit. Well, actually, you know what? No free ads. You can find them anywhere from 135 plus 135 to plus 150, depending on the book you're looking at. And you can get Canelo Alvarez as low as minus 150.
That's crazy.
From the book.
See
right
that
now, on
man.
the money line.
See, and that's why like picking straight up at this point, it's almost like worthless. So there's a couple of things here to watch out for, right?
Yes, there are.
And the first one is Canelo by KO TKO rounds 9 through 12. Okay, that's one to look out for. That could give you a big return. And of course, the other return that will be a good one for you is kind of like the obvious one, going the full 12 rounds for a draw. So you put like 25 to 100 on one of those results, then you'll get a real good return because it should be over 10 to 1 for either one of those odds. Canelo rounds 9 through 12 and the draw.
I do have odds for some of these. I don't have 9 through 12, but I have 7 through 9, which is at plus 1,000. And you can get 10 through 12 at plus 1,200. Then with the draw, there's been some action on the draw. I checked earlier this week. The draw was at plus 1,400 earlier this week. It is now down as low as plus 1,000 in some books.
Damn. I gotta see because I saw plus 1,500.
You can find it there too, but you can find it as low as.
Hold on. I don't know if you guys can hear me. One thing I wanted to point out: usually in a boxing match, the draw is at anywhere from plus 2,100 to plus 2,200. So the fact that you saw the draw to be plus 1,400 early in the week shows that a lot of money is pouring in on the draw, and that has continued throughout the week.
To your point, the draw on this fight opened at plus 18.
Now, since we're talking odds, can I hit Raw Hard Cash, who is on an amazing run right now? I don't think people realize what Raw Hard Cash is doing. We're over $1,000. We are paying rent here for people. We are paying mortgages for people.
Wait, where are you paying rent at? Where are you paying rent at with the 1,000?
Maybe somewhere like in the middle of the
Let
country.
me find out.
Maybe somewhere in the middle of the country we're paying rent.
Like Oklahoma City.
Before you give your bets, hold on 1 second. Before you give your bets.
Exactly. Let me tell you something right now. This makes money. My goal for Raw Hard Cash is I want you to quit your job. I want you to go do your hobby. That's my goal for Raw Hard Cash. I don't do this just for you to make chump change. I don't think just put a little, I want you to be able to quit your job. If I could prove that Raw Hard Cash is this provable, we can start putting some real money on this. We can start putting some real money on this. But let's just do it here. I'm on an amazing run right now. You know, I hit my NFL picks last week. You know that, right? I hit my NFL picks last week. 4 games, I hit them. You know what I mean? We made the $300. You know what I mean? Like that's not nothing. But let's go here. I'm not gonna do 4 football games. Let's just do 4 fights. How about that? And they're all tonight. So you can walk away with cash tonight. See a great card and walk away with cash tonight. 4-leg parlay.
No. If you're gonna do the whole parlay, we could do that later. Cause we're not even done breaking down this fight yet.
We're all talking bets here. I'm just trying to have fun. I just want to join in the conversation. Right, that's all I want to do. I just want to join in the conversation. Can I join in the conversation, or do I have to wait?
You have to wait. Because we're getting to your favorite part.
All right.
What's best for boxing?
What's best for boxing? This is a tough one. I got to be honest. I've been thinking about it. It's a tough one. It really is a tough one because I'm going to be honest with you. I think this is Terence Crawford's last fight. Now, if he wins, you can say there's a rematch. But I think this is Terence Crawford's last fight. I think this is the it for Terence Crawford. So I can't say Terence Crawford winning is best for boxing because I think Canelo will go on to fight if he wins, right? But I don't really think Canelo makes a dent in boxing after this. I don't really think there's a fight in there that Canelo's like, oh, that's the one that everybody's been waiting on. So I got to be honest with you. This is a one-off. Nothing in here really affects boxing after this. The only thing best for boxing is this is a really good fight. That's the only thing that happens because either guy wins. What is Canelo fighting Shiraz really making waves in Saudi? No, I don't think so, right? Terence Crawford's not going to stay at 168 and fight Benavidez. He's not going to stay at 168 fight Iglesias. He's not going to stay and do that. So what's best for boxing, I believe? That's weird. They just took something off the betting line. They took Lester Martinez off the betting line right now.
What?
Yeah, and Mbili and Lester Martinez for me, unless the odds change while I was trying to bet it.
I'm taking a look.
It's locked. Yeah, you can't bet it right now.
What's best for boxing is what's best for Las Vegas, Matt. And you know who's best in Las Vegas?
Am I right on that, Huey?
I'm checking.
We got it's breaking news like on the bed lines. Yeah, we got to find out what's up with that fight, man. We got to find out what's up with that fight. Hold on, let me see if I could.
Let me
check it myself, but it might not work for me since I'm in Vegas.
Well, I'll keep going as they're trying to figure that out. But
it's locked. You're right. It's locked.
I can't do it. Damn, where's the V? Whoops, I ain't gonna give out that secret. I was about to say V.
I got it open on mine. It's plus 125. Lester Martinez minus 165. From
okay.
All right, cool. All right.
Well, yeah, but I really think this is kind of I think this is their last big fight. I think this is the last mega fight for both guys, and I think this is maybe if there wasn't Benavidez, I wonder how we would look at this fight. I really do. If there wasn't Benavidez, would I be clamoring for Canelo to fight any of the guys at 168 and not fight? But maybe I look at it different. I really think the Benavidez fight made me look at this fight completely different because maybe I'd be more excited for this fight. Maybe I'd be more accepting of this fight if there wasn't Benavidez. The best thing for boxing is this is just a really, really competitive fight. What do you think?
Mike?
I think Canelo's best for boxing right now because he has opportunity to have another big fight. Same with Crawford. I don't think he's going to fight anybody at 154, which I want to see. And I mean, I'm not looking forward to see Carlos Adames and Janovic, versus Crawford. So I'll roll the dice the other way. You know what I mean?
So,
Hey, Matt.
You know what I think happened for this Lester Martinez thing? I think that they realized so much money was coming in on Lester Martinez that they pulled this.
So you might be right, because the blue book, we're not saying names here, did pull the odds, they locked it, but the green one still has it available to bet.
Yeah, I think that they had a lot of money coming in on Lester, which I think is smart money to come in on Lester, and I think they just pulled it.
Yeah. Hey, yo, Matt.
What's going on?
All right, hey, Matt, remember, hold on.
Go ahead.
Remember, like back in the days when there used to be a little title for me by the name of Conspiracy JR?
Yep, let me hear it.
All right. So I've been thinking while you all have said what's best for boxing.
A draw.
And for this particular fight, what's best for boxing is, yes, a draw. A controversial split draw. Just like what we saw for Tank versus Lamar Roach. What would be best for boxing in this, what would be the biggest fight of the year? What would get people talking about the fight for months upon months upon months? A all-time performance from Terence Allen Crawford against Santos Saul Alvarez Barragan, but the judges won't give Terence Crawford enough credit, and we end up getting a draw result, and fans all over will go crazy. I say what's best for boxing is a draw. If we're not going to get anything else from Terence Crawford, if you get a win or loss result, if you're not going to get much out of Canelo Alvarez with a win or a loss, then let's go for the draw. That would be best for boxing.
I don't hate that.
Well, first of all,
we're running back in May.
I asked what's best for boxing, not what's the worst possible outcome. Okay.
No, how is it?
I don't know that that's the worst possible outcome. I don't think that Terence Crawford or Canelo Alvarez are going to make fights that are significant for the fight moving forward. So if they're not going to make any fights with anyone else, why not fight each other again? It's another big event.
All right, listen.
In Saudi.
This is why the people tune in for me. All right, because don't listen to these guys. I don't want you guys to feel any kind of way about this fight until I tell you how to feel. All right, and what's best?
Oh, come on, that bullshit.
What's best for boxing is a Canelo Alvarez victory. Okay, why? Because no matter what I say, no matter what Ezra says, no matter what Mike or Huey or JR says, this week, Canelo Alvarez said, I never say no to nothing. It's still possible for the future. And what was he talking about? A potential fight with the Mexican monster, David Benavidez.
Oh my God!
There's the one thing about boxers: we'll fall for anything.
Oh my God! Please. Slow down. Slow down, Kevin Garnett. God.
What's a better impersonation? Him or Canelo or my Carlitos Way? Because it's my Carlitos Way by a mile. I'm sorry. But what's better?
We're not litigating this on the show.
Yeah,
I have a very high voice like Canelo, my friend. Triple G, you are next, my friend.
See, I think my Carlitos better, honestly. And I've been doing a new one, see, because I was doing the pool scene. That was cool. But I liked when Carlitos talking to himself in his head. He's like, Carlito, gotta play it cool. Everyone's watching, Carlito. The streets are watching, Carlito. Better play it good. Because if you show any weakness, they're gonna come after you, Carlito. I think that I've been mastering because I only want my impersonations to be the Carlitos Ways movie.
You know what's funny? You don't sound like Carlitos Way. You sound like pain in the ass. Okay, I'm reloaded.
Oh man.
Oh shit! Listen.
All right.
let's go to your favorite section, your new section, Tomorrow Today.
Oh, I love that.
The Ezra creation.
God, I love that. What a great segment.
If Canelo Alvarez wins, what are the people saying tomorrow today, Ezra?
I think if Canelo wins, because people talked themselves into this fight, they're going to say we underappreciated his skill. We underappreciated how good Canelo Alvarez was. I think people have talked themselves into this being a really competitive fight. And like telling you, the skill gap thing is a real conversation. And I think if Canelo wins, which I think that if Canelo wins, it's pretty dominant because he'll be too big and the shots will be placed too well and Crawford rather get defensive. The people are going to be like, you know what? We probably underappreciated Canelo's skill this whole time. People talked about him as if he was Munguia going into this fight. I think that's the conversation if Canelo wins.
So for me, forget about the conversation, what the people are saying. I'm going to take you into the post-fight interview after Canelo Alvarez is victorious tonight. Hey, if Turkey Al Sheikh wants it, then we'll do it. If the people ask for it, I will do it. I never say no to nothing. David Benavidez, you are next, my friend. That is what happens if Canelo Alvarez wins tonight.
Can I be honest with you? I've never heard Canelo say my friend. I don't believe so. I could be wrong. But I don't know where the my friend is coming from. I feel like you're mixing up that.
Oh my God, bro. He said Triple G, you are next, my friend.
My friend.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong.
Oh,
Come on, man. Because you're not, because you know what it is, Ezra?
Let him know.
Let him know. UFC.
You're watching UFC.
I've been watching boxing. You were just watching UFC. Okay.
Let me tell you something. Of all the nasty things that have been said about me, you saying that I started off as a UFC fan is the nastiest thing. And I do appreciate the guy that you've been defending for so long, right? As people have been negative about, but you've been defending for so long, Max Kellerman. One full force UFC guy. You would thought that they had Joe Rogan up there talking when he was like, this is why the UFC is killing boxing. This is why the UFC is so much better than boxing. This is why UFC is, let me tell you the nerve of this. He's saying that. Well, the guy who's outsold every UFC fight is sitting right there.
4-0, baby. 4-0 versus UFC.
Yeah, the guy that's killed UFC fight every time is sitting right there. He's saying, this is why this guy kills your sport. To a bunch of boxing fans. You understand?
I just want to point out. I just want to point out, Ezra, that every boxing fan in the comments knows that it's you are next, my friend. And Vivi says that journeyman punched that memory out of Ezra's head. That's why Ezra remember.
I gotta be honest with you.
Hey, you know what?
Calling my opponent a journeyman is really respectful to him. It's really upping him. I gotta be honest with you. It's really upping him.
Oh man,
it really is.
Oh God, you know.
But today, I think the people will call for a Benavidez fight, especially if Canelo dominates tonight. Like, like to me, and maybe this is just me being wishfully thoughtive on this. I don't think there's anywhere else for Canelo to go. He's run out of viable opponents that people care about. The people want to see him fight David Benavidez, and I think that's what the people will call for tomorrow today. What do you think, Mike?
I'm with you too. Canelo wins. We got to see the Benavidez turkey. You got to pay for that turkey. You got to pay for it. I don't care if it happens in the freaking ship. I don't care if it happens at Rider season. Wherever it happens, you got to pay for it. Regardless, though, everybody talked me into this fight about Bud being the greatest all time, and whoever wins tonight is number one P for me. They're getting straight to the charts. I'm gonna celebrate, both. It's a good night for boxing. A lot of people think I'm a Terence Crawford hater. I am a little bit, but I'm over that. I done moved on. Already. I done moved on. I can appreciate.
Hey, Mike just pulled a Drewski. He said, "You got me."
Hey, listen.
The first you got to understand about this for Mike is Mike was one of the biggest Canelo fans I knew. He's one of the biggest Terence Crawford haters I know. This is really lining up for Mike to really pop off after the end of this fight. It could go south. It could go south, but it could be.
I already know what the Bud fans are going to do. We're going to see 100 Earl Spence tweets if he loses. Like that's all that they're going to be talking about. And I'm like, dude, I done moved on past that already. So I don't really want to say nothing because I don't want to get all these Earl Spence tweets back at me. And I'm telling you, that's all they will be tweeting tonight.
Oh man. Oh goodness.
Hey, Mike, if they bring up Errol Spence, just hit him with the Slim Charles. That's the thing about the old days. They the old days.
Is the old
All right, Ezra.
Goodness.
So you made your list and you released those videos, or actually, Beezy, we didn't get your tomorrow today. What do you see people saying?
With what Ezra was saying about Max Kellerman and what Max Kellerman was saying, I slipped up when he was talking about all that. I should have yelled out what Tank yelled to Teofimo Lopez during the Rolly Romero fight. Shut your bitch ass up. Oh man. Okay. If Canelo wins, particularly by KO TKO, then just like Matt said, there's no other route for Canelo Alvarez but to face David Benavidez. And to that point, you got to bring up that very, very early interview that I had with David Benavidez. Shout out to Emily. When he said that he will be part of Riyadh season for his next few fights. So given him having this fight against Anthony Yard on November 22nd, with the Canelo win tonight, that opens the door for Riyadh season and Turkey Al Sheikh to go ahead and put in that investment to make the fight that finally a fight that people really want to see in Canelo Alvarez versus David Benavidez. I don't care what the weight class is, make it happen. If Canelo wins tomorrow, today is, the people will scream for Canelo to fight David Benavidez.
JBZ, I just want to make sure I heard you correctly on this. You said that David Benavidez will be a part of Riyadh season in his next two fights?
Well, he said around the next few fights or so. So
next
go
few
back
fights.
to the. Mm-hmm.
Okay, but that's huge news. Okay, because that means that now that this is Anthony Yard fight isn't a one-off.
Oh no, definitely is not a one-off. Definitely.
Oh wow.
Definitely not.
Oh, that's huge news. I mean, that's okay.
Yeah,
right.
definitely
I mean,
not.
That's a conversation me and Matt have been having for a while.
With him being in the light heavyweight division,
Matt's been holding the truth from you, Ezra.
Another,
we all know
with either the undisputed titles there at light heavyweight or to try to get that fight to happen.
Bro, okay, I'm just gonna say this right now. I'm gonna take credit right now. Matt, why is your back on the wall? Why is your back on the wall? Okay.
Because last week you said you would run through a wall for brunch boxing. Here's the wall, baby.
Oh man. Wait, Matt.
Hey, you know what,
I don't
Matt?
know.
You know
I don't know
what?
if you heard
You
JBZ.
have that as the background for every single episode until we see Ezra actually run through a wall.
I don't know if you heard JBZ, Matt. I don't know if you heard JBZ, but Ez right once again. See, there's nasty things that are spread out there. Oh, Ezra's always wrong to be with Ezra. I'm always right. That's the problem. That's the thing. I'm probably batting like 95%. But I told you that David Benavidez fighting in Riyadh wasn't a one-off. And I told you that if he was going to fight Bivol or Benjamin, it was going to be over there. It was going to be with that side of the street. Well, JB just said that the next few fights for Benavidez are going to be a part of Riyadh season.
Yeah, because I think the Canelo fight is cool versus him.
It's not going to be a Canelo fight. This is stop that for people who get their hopes up. That's not going to be a Canelo fight.
Dude, I think that Canelo fight happens way more before the Bivol one. I don't think the Bivol one, the chances are slim with the Bivol one.
I'm just going to tell you right now, that is big news. I'm just going to tell you right now, just look at the landscape of boxing. Look at the fights that people are trying to build and promotion are trying to build. The fact that Benavidez is going to be with Riyadh for a while is pretty damn telling. I'm just going to tell you right now.
Before Huey becomes rude and just dismisses the chances of Terence Crawford and moves on to Ezra's list, we got to do tomorrow today for Terence Crawford.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
What are the people saying if Terence Crawford wins, Ezra?
They are saying he's an all-time great. There's a conversation to say, is he the best we've ever seen in the ring? We are talking about because I keep saying when you watch Crawford, you feel like this is probably one of the best fighters I've ever seen in the ring. It just doesn't have really the resume to do it. If he has this, people are in the conversation with Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard, Floyd Mayweather, Ali. He's in that conversation. You can't just remove it. It's in that conversation. And if it's in devastating fashion, like let's just say it's by stoppage, which I don't think is possible. But let's just say it's by stoppage. I mean, goddamn, you're talking about one of the best wins of all time. So you're talking about performance of all time, and you're talking about a guy that is going to skyrocket to number one. It's not even going to be debatable. He's going to be your pound for pound number one. If you don't have Crawford, your pound for pound number one, no one's going to take your list seriously. That's the truth of what's going to happen today. If he wins.
What do you think, Mike?
Oh, dude, it would be one of the greatest things ever that I've seen personally. If Terence Crawford defeats Canelo convincingly, knockout. I just never seen anything like that. Canelo's up there, as a fighter. So what he does with this, I don't know. It might be like I'm done. I can buy Nebraska now. I don't need anybody.
Hey, Mike, he could have bought Nebraska 10 fights ago.
Oh,
I don't know about that. Well, he might buy the whole Midwest. Okay,
I didn't know. Hey, I didn't know Warren Buffett had it for sale. I gotta be honest.
But it'd be one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life. That's a fighter do, going up 2 weight classes like that and defeating somebody of that caliber convincingly. And I know the haters are gonna say I wouldn't be excited, but I would actually be excited. I mean that's great for boxing, in my opinion. That's great for boxing if Terence can pull this off, because you can think of all kinds of matches after that.
I agree. I think it's great for boxing, and I think if Terence Crawford wins, like Ezra said, and this is the only time he's going to be as right, he's automatically number one pound for pound. Doesn't matter what Inoue does in the morning, and he makes people start having those uncomfortable conversations because he's going to be in the conversations with the Sugar Ray Leonards, the Floyd Mayweathers. He'll surpass Marvin Hagler. He'll surpass Bernard Hopkins. He'll surpass Roy Jones. He will be in a lot of conversations that people never thought that Terence Crawford would make it to, in my opinion. That's what the people will be saying tomorrow today.
Now, you said, Ez will be, one time he'll be right. Don't forget, 95%. I'm going to put it on a t-shirt, 95%.
I don't know what that sign was for the 9, but it looked kind of backwards there. Kind of echo what y'all are saying in reference to Terence Crawford if he wins. The conversation first will be about this particular era, the modern era, past 25 years, 2000 to 2025. If he's there along the likes of a Floyd Mayweather Jr. or Manny Pacquiao. But as Matt, mentioned here sometime back in reference to top 5 wins in reference to boxing, Terence Crawford over Canelo Alvarez, particularly if it is by stoppage, would be a top 5 win or be in the discussion for top 5 wins of all time. As far as like him in the overall discussion of greatest all-time fighters, the discussion will be there. It's just that, it's very subjective. And, people have had that conversation already. But when you think about those guys like a Sugar Ray Robinson or Muhammad Ali or, anybody that's like, 500 years ago, as they say, then it makes it a very difficult conversation. But the knee-jerk reaction will be that he will get in that conversation of greatest of all time if he gets to win over Canelo Alvarez.
Absolutely. Now, we're going to get to your list, Ezra. But before we get to your list, we're housekeeping. The official historian of brunch boxing, J-Ro, father of Daniel, his son is in a competition for a 2025 Youth Athlete of the Year. Please go vote for young Daniel on Facebook. Remember, Naoya Inoue fights on Facebook tomorrow. So a lot of you guys got to go get Facebook accounts if you don't have one already. So when you sign into Facebook, make sure you take the time out It takes all of 2 seconds to go vote for young Daniel for 2025 Youth Athlete of the Year. We will be posting links all over the Brunch Boxing Twitter and on my personal Twitter account where you guys can go vote. You can also look for the link at Young Daniel Dad. Follow J-Ro, not for his tweets. He's a shit tweeter, but follow him so you can go vote. Thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna get him in. Don't worry.
Like that mayor on that cartoon show that was on Nickelodeon, Doug. Vote for me.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So Beezy alluded to it. He thinks it would be a top 5 win. Ezra, you made your list earlier. You're going to release another edition of that here, more detailed later today. Where would this rank all time if Terence Crawford was to pull off the victory? And you know what? I want a range of outcomes, because you did say Matt believes it's going to be dominant. You don't necessarily believe that if he wins, it's going to be in that fashion. So give me the range of outcomes based on how he wins, where you would rank this.
If he gets a stoppage and it's that dominant, he will crack my top 10. He will crack my top 10. If he wins like a decision and maybe it's still dominant, I don't know. He's right like honorable mentions, right? Like 11, 12, 13. But if he like I said, I don't know if he cracks top 10. It would have to be like a really dominant win to crack the top 10, in my opinion.
So what's his competition?
So do you want to go down my list?
Obviously,
Okay.
as I was trying to set that up for you.
Gotcha.
I was trying to set that up for you.
This is my top 10 best wins.
He missed the alley-oop. He missed it. Completely missed it.
I missed it.
He caught the alley-oop, and then he head faked, and he's going to go back up for a dunk.
Yeah.
Top 10 best wins in boxing. At number 10, I have Ezra Charles over Charles Burley. Okay, Charles Burley was a guy that was avoided for a long time, and Ezra Charles goes and defeats him. I think it's a great win. At number 9, Jack Johnson over Tommy Burns. Jack Johnson gets a you don't like that? You don't like that?
Bro, is this the put up your Dukes era? Is this the Notre Dame fighting era?
What did I say? I said, see, why did I say that term 500 years ago?
Listen, Ezra, let me tell you something.
Well, let me finish the list. Before you have criticism,
hold on. I don't want to see anything on the list when they were fighting 245 rounds.
All right. You're not going to like the later list. Number 8, Mayweather over Pacquiao. Is that okay? Is that current enough for you? Okay.
Yes.
Number 7, Jack Johnson over Jim Jeffries.
I respect that. First black heavyweight champion.
Okay.
All right. At number 6, Ali over Frazier. Number 3.
Okay.
Number 5, Ray Leonard over Tommy Hearns.
Okay.
Number 4, Ali over Foreman.
Okay.
Number 3, Duran over Ray Leonard.
Okay.
Number 2, Ray Leonard over Hagler.
Ooh.
And then number 1, to me, the greatest win in boxing history, Frazier over Ali, number 1.
Now, let me ask you a question. Why didn't Ali over Liston make the list?
I think Ali over Liston would be in one of my biggest upsets. If I had my top 10 biggest upsets, it'd be on that list. I don't think I have. It was considerable in this, like probably top 11 to 20, but not in my top 10.
Okay.
What am I missing? What's the big ones you're like, that's a clear miss that you missed?
Ali over Liston. Lewis over Schmeling in their second fight in front of Hitler.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the point, right? So you don't like the Jack Johnson over Burns. You're okay with Jack Johnson over Jeffries, but it's really because of what it means historically, right? Like that's a really important historical moment.
Correct.
Now, I agree. Lewis over Schmeling is a very historical moment, but the problem is that Schmeling was not supposed to beat Joe Louis in the first fight. So really, it's a fight that was really shouldn't. It was a slip up. Now I get the political the things of it, the what it meant in the world at the time. So politically and historically, I get what it means, but I don't know if it's like an all-time great beating an all-time great. I don't know that. Is what I mean, right? What's the significance of it? But like I said, I have Jack Johnson over Tommy Burns, and I don't think Tommy Burns is an all-time great. So that's right.
Here's the thing, though. I don't think that there was two fighters in the world that had more pressure on them going into a fight than Joe Louis and Max Mellon.
That's fine. That's fine. You have to add in things outside of boxing for me to be on the list. But I get it. When I made the list, I thought that people would think like that's missing. There was another one that people brought up. I'm curious what you think of. George Foreman over Michael Moore.
No, that's just a big upset.
Okay,
that was a bit. Yeah.
Here was the argument. It was for the lineal championship.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, but nah. I mean, to me, as far as like personally, to me, that's one of the. Yeah, personally, to me, that was like a top 10 win because watching it live, that like was one of the most shocking moments
Great moment, great upset, shocking moment. Yeah. But then why not put Douglas over Tyson if we're gonna go?
Right, exactly. Yeah, and we brought that up earlier, Matt, and you said for biggest upsets, Douglas versus Tyson. Yeah.
Where does Usyk over Fury rank?
Maybe bottom, close to 20, maybe from 20 to 30. I don't think I had that close to my top 10.
What about Crawford over Spence?
No. Not in my
top about 20. Mayweather over Corrales?
Maybe 20 to 30.
Man.
What about Trinidad over De La Hoya?
That one was between my 10 to 20. I did think that was a more significant win than people thought, but I think because the fight wasn't good, people are not going to weigh that win as that good. But I think that was a really, really big win.
What about Hopkins over Trinidad?
That was in the conversation 10-20.
Ooh.
Another one people brought up.
Top 25.
I didn't hear you.
Hopkins over Tarver and Tarver over Jones.
Okay. What about Bo over Holyfield in the first fight?
Yeah, that would probably be in my top 10 to 20.
Okay.
Because what I'm trying to think, I'm one of your opinions, one I thought about too, but maybe you don't think this is that significant.
All right.
And Greedy said another one people brought up a lot. Benitez over Cervantes.
Who gives a shit? That fight's not big enough to be on the list.
I didn't
what about Joshua Klitschko?
No. I don't
No.
Okay.
That doesn't sniff the top 50. Sorry.
There was what the I just blanked on the one I was thinking of that I was going to bring up. My bad. I'm trying to think of it. I don't know if it's going to come back. If it comes back, I'll bring it up.
What about Eddie Booker over Archie Moore?
Yeah, I was looking at that one that made of people I asked that made their list. I think that has to be considered in the probably top 10 to 20.
Hold on.
If I removed the Jack Johnson fight, that would probably make the top 10. That'd make the top 10.
You know what's funny? One of the fights that could have been on the list, if they would have called it right, would have been Whitaker over Chavez.
Okay. You just refresh my memory. Yes, I agree with you on that. How about Chavez over Taylor? Because at that point, because remember this is when Tyson gets dethroned. Chavez is the number 1 pound for pound. Malder Taylor is probably he's top 10 pound for pound at that point. So the winner of that does become the man in boxing.
Great win. Great win.
Yeah, so that's in my top 10 to 20. That was right there on the borderline of making the list.
Great win. All right, what else we got today?
All right, so next up, what do we want to go through? If there's anything that's catching your attention on the undercard of this fight, we got Callum Walsh, Fernando Vargas Jr. Anything that you want to talk about in this fight?
Lester Martinez versus Mbili.
On that the specific fight, Ezra.
What are you talking about?
No, we're just going down the card. We're gonna just do you want to talk about it or not? And then I'll go to the next fight.
We're skipping through the rundown.
What do you mean? What do you guys got to say about Callum Walsh and Fernando Vargas?
Oh, okay. My bad. I thought it was just the undercard. I think that on paper that people might think like this is an interesting fight. I think Callum Walsh is not gonna be a guy that is the best in division. No, he's not gonna be a guy that's even in contention to be in the best in division. But I do think he's a good fighter. So he's in an awkward spot because I think people are promoting him to be something, and so people want to downgrade him. People have to go the opposite way. I think that he's better than Vargas. I think that he's going to look significantly better than Vargas in the fight. His timing is better than Vargas. His punch placement is better than Vargas. Vargas is going to be aggressive, but I think he's going to walk into a lot of shots. I think that Walsh is going to win this fight.
What's best for boxing?
Walsh winning the fight. You know what? No. I'm wrong. Vargas winning the fight is best for boxing.
Thank you.
The crowd, I don't know if you noticed, the crowd was really going big for Vargas.
Yes, because he's Fernando Vargas' son.
Yeah, Fernando Vargas' son winning the fight is best for boxing. I don't know why. I don't know why.
And listen, I'm hoping that he wins. Listen, I've never been a big believer in Callum Walsh. I also haven't been a big believer in the Wallace and the Vargas brothers. But if there is a boxing god, we need Fernando Vargas Jr. to win. I think that opens up a lot of possibilities at 154. And all of a sudden, he becomes a major player. Can you imagine Fernando Vargas Jr. versus Virgil Ortiz in Texas or in California? That would be fucking insane.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's what I'm saying. 100%. So I think that, Vargas winning for sure is better, but I just don't think it's going to. I don't think it's going to happen.
Matt, how do you see this fight going?
This fight is probably going to go the way I think it's going to go. Probably.
Yeah, I like that. That should be your new thing. This is gonna go the way you think it's gonna go.
It's probably gonna be Callum Walsh.
And what's next for Callum Walsh after he wins? Ben.
I got
TKO.
that. Yeah, a TKO championship. Right. That's what's next for him. A TKO championship.
TKO.
Fighting for 500K everything, which is pretty good pay for him, honestly.
750K.
Right. So next fight on the card here, Ezra, you were jumping at the bits to get to this one. Christian Mbile versus Lester Martinez. So what are the storylines going into this bout for you?
The storyline going into this bout is that 168 is actually a really fun division. If you actually remove Canelo, who the champ is not going to fight anybody, this is like, you would be like, damn, who's the man at this weight division? This is a fight that's going to really have effect on the conversation of who the man is in the conversation. I think it's very interesting that the betting I disappeared on here. Now, I don't know if I'm on Matt's screen or whatever, but a lot of people were probably betting Lester Martinez, especially with Shakur coming out and saying that. I see him in person. There's something different about the guy. He has good timing. He has more tricks than what it looks like. He looks like he's just like some kind of flat-footed, aggressive fighter. No, he's actually pretty skilled. He's got tricks in there that he does. He sets up his shots, and the dude is durable. I shook the man's hand. The man's hand was about twice what my hand is. I don't have small hands. This dude is durable. He's stocky. I think his punches mean something. You could hear the thudding shots when I was in the crowd. Another thing is I think that there's some kind of buzz around him. Only I can explain it to is when I saw Chocolatito fight on a Triple G undercard, and I saw all the fans coming, and they all had the flag, the Chocolatito's country flag, Nicaragua, his flag, and I was like, oh, like there's a big fan base here. There's a big buzz for him. I felt the same thing with Lester. The people in there were going crazy for him. When he started fighting, you could feel the buzz in that small venue. I think there's something here if he kind of gets on a roll here. So I'm very curious about that fight. I think that this is going to be, to me, still the show of the fight. This is going to steal the show, and I think Lester's going to win.
For me, the biggest storyline going into this fight is Lester Martinez has the weight of the world, or shall I say a country, on his shoulders. Guatemala, they haven't won anything. You know, their national sport is soccer. Did you know that Guatemala has never qualified for the World Cup? Guatemala has participated in dozens of Olympics. They've only won 3 medals. Their first medal was in 2012, and then they got 2 medals in 2024, including their first gold medal, a shooter. Okay? Guatemala has never had a world champion. The closest that they gotten was an interim world champion. The fans, the country, his people are starving for a champion. To me, and I'm including the gold medal that they just won in shooting in the 2024 Paris Olympics, Lester Martinez winning this fight would be the most significant athletic achievement in the history of Guatemala. And I think it would make him a national hero. So I don't know if he feels that pressure, but I know the Guatemalan boxing fans are feeling that pressure. You know, a lot of them are downtrodden. They're beaten down like dogs. They're almost like the Boston Red Sox before 2004. They're just thinking, oh, you know what? It's Murphy's Law. Whatever can go wrong will go wrong. So they don't have the confidence in Lester Martinez. But I think Lester Martinez is different. I think he's different. So I think Lester Martinez will show up and will show out. Now, from the Christian and Billy side, Eye of the Tiger, they are building something over there. They got Oslis Iglesias, they got Alvaro Ramirez, and they got Christian and Billy. With Eye of the Tiger, they have three of the best guys at 168 and 175. We've heard a lot about him, Billy, over the years. This heavy-hitting Frenchman. We've seen him struggle against Sergey Derevianchenko with one arm. But then we've also seen him blow out, shockingly, Macho Sulecki in a round. Who is the real Christian and Billy? Will the real Christian and Billy please stand up? To me, Lester Martinez versus Christian and Billy is one of the best fights that you can make in boxing. Besides the main event, it is the best fight on the card. And it has fight of the year potential all over it. And I can't wait for it.
I agree.
So before we move on to the next fight in the card, I think both of you are picking Lester. Just do a quick tomorrow today for him. What are people saying, and what do you see next for him?
There's a new name in boxing that a guy Canelo will avoid. There's another man that Canelo will avoid. That's what they're talking about tomorrow today. They're saying this guy, there's not a chance Canelo goes in there. But I'm going to tell you one thing. You're going to see some similarities in styles from Lester. That's why Crawford sparring Lester is one of the best sparring partners you could get for fighting Canelo, because there's some similarities in their styles. I even asked Bomac about this, and Bomac agreed. He said there's some things that he does that Canelo does. People are going to be very excited about Lester Martinez after today.
So for me, tomorrow today, the first thing that they're saying is that Brian Bomac McIntyre might be the trainer of the year. That's what they're going to be saying. Another thing they're going to be saying is that a star is born. I think there will be a lot of weeping and celebrating in the streets of Guatemala and somewhere out in Texas, wherever J-Ro lives. Okay?
All right.
Listen, J-Ro, I've been studying the history of Guatemala sports. They've had whole parades for what we would think are the most insignificant achievements. Like we take sports for granted in this country because we're so dominant at sports that we don't think anything of it. But for that small little country of Guatemala, not a great deal of people, to come from that small little place and become a world champion, I think is going to be, like I said, the biggest achievement that anyone from that country has ever achieved athletically.
All right. I'm in agreement with both of you. I think Lester's going to win, and I think we're going to see a new player in the 168-pound division emerge. So moving on to the next fight in the card, we got Sergey Bohachuk versus Brandon Adams. Storylines, thoughts on the fight, who wins, what do we got on this one? Ezra, let's start with you.
You know, this is a rematch. Bohachuk was stopped in the first time they fought. I don't know if there's, I think it's just Bohachuk looking to get another big fight. I think that he's trying to make it wrong, right? But he's just trying to get another big fight. I don't think that there's a lot of anticipation. Trying to rush you along on this one, Matt. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of anticipation for this fight or anything like that. It's just like Bohachuk looked kind of shaky his last fight. I think there's an argument that he could have lost the last fight, or at least a draw. I'm curious what he looks like in this fight, and I'm curious if he gets it right. I think he will, but I don't think there's a lot of buzz for it.
So, a couple interesting things going into this fight. Not from the side of Brandon Adams. I didn't like the way he looked against Andreas Katsarakis last year. I think Brandon Adams is pretty well spent. But a couple interesting things from the Bohachuk side of things. Serhii Bohachuk missed weight his last fight against Michael Fox, and they had to redo the weight, and then he missed it again. This fight is not at 154 either. When was the last time he made 154 safely? You know. Now, why do I find that interesting? Because you would think with the dearth of talent at 160, he would want to move up to 160, but he petitioned the WBC to put him back at number 1 in their rankings at 154. So, for all intents and purposes, he's still going to try to fight at 154, but I think he's killing himself to make the weight. Either that or he's unprofessional. But I think that's something to monitor. So for all the hype Serhii Bohachuk has been getting in recent years, especially after his performance against Virgil Ortiz, I think I would caution people against that, because this seems like a guy that is struggling to make his weight class, but doesn't have the confidence in his skill to move up to the next weight class.
Ezra, anything to add before we move on?
No, good on that one.
All right, and Matt, we're going to start with you on this one. Ivan Ditchko versus Jermaine Franklin. What are your thoughts?
Hey, man. I'm sorry. I'm just overwhelmed.
Having a moment?
Yeah, like I feel the blood rushing to places right now that we can't post on YouTube. All right, maybe on the Brunch Boxing OnlyFans we could post it, but not on YouTube. Right now, we have 2 big, beefy men bumping meat. Ivan Ditchko, very promising amateur. Some people claim that he beat AJ at the 2012 London Olympics. Think about that. 2012. It's 13 years ago. And this guy is just becoming something in the sport of boxing. Jermaine Franklin, Sag Nasty. Love and light to him. He just lost his father recently, so salute to him. He was going through promotional issues with Dimitri Salita. Maybe they've worked it out, maybe they haven't. He has a heavy heart, a lot on his mind. It doesn't look like, at least to me, scouring through his social media, that he's been in the gym a whole hell of a lot. But the way he's been talking, it's like he's on a mission. I think this is a crossroads fight for both fighters. Ivan Ditchko, you're either going to shit or get off the pot. No more of this. This guy's a great amateur, big, heavy-handed guy. It's been 13 years, dude. It's been 13 years, dude. What are you doing with your career? Now, you say you had promotional issues with Heavyweight Factory. All right, great. Well, now you're on the biggest stage of your life. What are you going to do about that? Now you're on the biggest stage of your life. What are you going to do about that? Jermaine Franklin, you gave Anthony Joshua a run for his money. You gave Dillian White a run for his money. You're a very good fighter. American heavyweight boxing needs you, Jermaine Franklin. You're still at a point where you can make something of yourself, maybe get to contention, maybe get another title shot, something to that effect. You can still do it, Jermaine Franklin. What are you going to do today, Jermaine Franklin? This is the ultimate gulag fight. The winner of this fight moves on to bigger and better things, possibly in Riyadh against Moses Atama, Ajit Kabayel, Philip Hergovich, maybe a returning Daniel Dubois. The loser of this fight, sorry, boys. Gotta go. Gotta go. Great matchup. Great fight. I don't know who's going to win. I really don't. I just want to see them both put their best foot forward in this bout.
We got a heavyweight fight on this card. It's just not the heavyweight fight we wanted on this card. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think Franklin looks like he's ready to go in this fight. I don't be honest. You say he didn't look like he'd been in the gym. I'm not sure he ever got to the gym. for this fight. I'm not sure he ever got there. I've seen Franklin fight. He's come up short. He's never, to me, he's never proven to be at that level, right? This to me, it's really just to see where his opponent is. I expect his opponent to win. But if you can't beat Franklin, then you don't belong in the picture. I mean, that's just not true. I don't think a Franklin win puts him in like, oh, he's in the conversation now. I don't think that. I think it's really more for the opponent.
We'll see.
All right. And then last fight on the card here, Steven Nelson versus Raiko Santana. Any thoughts about this? Whoever wants to start off, go for it.
No thoughts.
The only thing that's exciting about that is to see what Steven Nelson's going to wear. I got to be honest with you.
Yeah. I think with Steven Nelson, I mean, this is a fight to see if he'll get another gatekeeper fight against a prospect or somebody looking for some rec at 168. This is a nothing fight. But what I will say, my guy, BoxRec Greg, he has Steven Nelson on upset alert in this fight. So maybe that might be something you guys want to look out for.
All right. And then we got some prospects on the undercard here. Marco Verde, Reto Susumi, Muhammad Alakel, Sultan Al-Ahmed, and, all fighting in separate bouts. Any thoughts on who we should be looking out for? Anything significant that we should be looking out for in these matches? And who has the best chance of getting upset? Make people some money.
Verde is the guy to watch, man. This guy was a guy that I considered putting in my top 10 most important boxers list. He's something I like what I see. I know he's only fighting cans right now, but I like what I saw in the amateurs, and I like what I see here as to what he does to cans. The guy has skill. He doesn't fight, but he has his own style. It's not like what you would think for like, oh, this guy from Mexico is a great. Like he can box, he can move. I like everything I'm seeing from him. He's a guy to watch. If you need stars in boxing, this is a potential big star in boxing. So I think he's a guy to watch. I don't know, Matt. You got anything on the upset alert or anything like that?
All the Saudi guys. Let me tell you something. These Saudi Arabians cannot box at all. They can't box. They're not good. They're not good prospects. They're just being thrust on the stage because Turki Al-Sheikh wants to promote his country. But the guy that Muhammad Al-Akal is fighting, he has a very good chance at upsetting Al-Akal. I was talking to my guy, Gray, from BoxRec. He doesn't believe that Al-Akal is ready for a 10-rounder, especially against someone with the amount of experience that his opponent has. So he's on upset alert. I agree with you. Marco Verde, a.k.a. I call him Mark Green, he is one to watch because Canelo Alvarez, his career is winding down. Who is the next Mexican to step up and carry the torch for Mexican boxing? It could be Marco Verde. So I'm looking forward to seeing him. Rhea Sutsumi, he hasn't impressed me yet. Neither one of the Sutsumis have impressed me yet since they've been fighting on these Riyadh cards. We'll see. We'll see on that. That's all I got.
All right. Well, that's what we have for the Canelo Alvarez Terence Crawford card. Tune in later tonight. We will have a post-fight show. Ezra will be hosting that on X. So you can join us and give your thoughts on the card after the fight. Now we'll move on to news and notes here. Matt, something were... Oh,
hold on real quick. Raw hard cash. I mean, it has to do with this card. It has to be now, right? I mean, I already lost the Lester Martinez fight, and I got it back, thankfully, right?
Hey, listen. If you wanna flip to your segment, have at it. You got to do raw hard cash and the Ezra breakdown.
This is where you're wrong, though. This isn't my segment. It's the people's segment.
This is your segment.
No. This is the people's segment because this makes people money. It puts money in your pocket. You gotta understand. I don't get political on here, but the economy is not looking great right now. I gotta be honest with you. People are looking for money. They said, where can I make some extra money? Well, there's a guy that's over here just giving it out. Every week he's just giving out money, and that's me. Here comes raw hard cash, baby. And luckily we got the Lester fight back. They got a little worried. They said a lot of money coming to Lester. Should we change these odds? They didn't touch it. I got a 4-leg parlay for you. It's all this card. You're gonna win money tonight. Kellen Walsh, money line. Boachuk, money line. Lester Martinez, money line. And Saul Canelo Alvarez, money line. What does that get you? Because I think those are all picks I feel pretty confident in. I feel pretty good about. That is plus 457. I'll repeat that again. That is plus 457. That's 457. You bet $100, you're gonna win 457 bucks. You bet $1,000. Now we're talking. You know what I'm saying? You bet 10,000 bucks. I changed your life. This is 457. Lester Martinez, Callum Walsh, Bochuck, and Canelo Alvarez. That's the money line. Just money line. Just money line. That's the parlay. Just money line. You don't have to pick how they're gonna win. You don't have to pick what's gonna look like. Just a money line. They just get their hands raised. That's all you need. That's the raw, hard cash.
Straight cash, homie.
Matt, you got a best bet for the people today?
I gotta tell you, I absolutely hate that Ezra has stolen Oscar De La Hoya's gimmick with his stupid claps. You know. My best bets I will be posting on the Brunch Boxing timeline for the people.
All right.
I don't want you to have to go looking for my bets. I'm gonna post them. I'm bringing the bets to you guys. But I will say, look at Lester Martinez by knockout. It was plus 440. Now I think it's down to like plus 390. So you better get on that now. Lester Martinez by knockout. Over 0.5 knockdowns in the Canelo Alvarez Terence Crawford fight. It was plus 115. That was even money at plus 100. You might want to go look at that. Callum Walsh versus Fernando Vargas Jr. not to go the distance. You guys should also look at that. And I think those are, you could do straight bets on those and win money. And then you could do a nice little parlay with those and win money. That's what I'm looking at for the people. But I will also put it on the timeline for anyone who, isn't live with us right now.
All right. Well, Ezra didn't include anything from tomorrow morning's card on his bet, so we'll save the breakdown until after news and notes. Matt, we heard you earlier this week on a call with the California State Athletic Commission in a meeting where they were discussing the Muhammad Ali Amendment Act. What are your thoughts on the meeting and Sean Zettel we heard during the press conference attempting to hold Dana White accountable?
Andy Foster, the director of the California State Athletic Commission, is an enemy to the sport of boxing, and he's an enemy to the fighters. I think is very telling because the way I looked at it, it sounded like from the beginning that they were just looking to rubber stamp this, put it through, put their support behind it, and that's it. They were really shocked at the 100% negative feedback that this bill got. And I want to make sure people understand that it was 100% negative feedback because I did see Ariel Helwani say, oh, it was mostly negative. No. Don't soft shoe this shit. It was 100% negative from former UFC fighters who joined the call to combat sports law. Eric, he joined the call, to boxing scenes, Jake Donovan, who joined the call. Manager and trainer Rachel Donaire joined the call. And of course, yours truly joined the call. The Muhammad Ali Act is under attack. But if you love boxing and you don't want to see the fighters get exploited, if you really want to see the best fight the best, and you want to continue to see that, don't let this go through. Use your voice, pick up the phone, write a letter, do whatever it is that you have to do, and support the fighters in this case, because they're the ones who's going to get screwed. I think it's very telling that every UFC fighter that joined the call said, hey, you guys need to expand the Muhammad Ali Act to MMA. They're not supporting the amendments. No. They want the same protections that the boxers have because they are being exploited. And let me tell you something. You will never get the best fight in the best with this amendment. What you will get, first of all, you would get a lot of people especially at the highest level, leaving the sport and going to other sports where they can make more money, first of all. Second of all, you're going to get the best that would take whatever TKO is offering against the other best that would take whatever TKO is offering. It's not going to be the best fighting the best. It's going to water down the talent so much that it's going to look like modern day UFC where there are no stars. There are no stars in UFC right now. Why is that? Because of the way that they do business. The heavyweight champion of MMA is Francis Ngannou, but you wouldn't know that because they make you think it's Tom Aspinall because he has the UFC belt. Tom Aspinall never beat Francis Ngannou. John Jones never beat Francis Ngannou. But because Francis Ngannou wanted more money, they got rid of him. They took his belt and got rid of him. Is that what you want to see for your fighters? I don't think so. And salute to Sean Zattel for holding Dana White's feet to the fire. And I got to say this because this is really pissing me off. There's a lot of people in boxing fans, PR managers, boxing managers. A lot of you people have no guts, no courage. You're all cowards. You're all just looking to make a buck with Turkey and Dana and all these people. You don't give a fuck about boxing or the fighters, and you have no courage. Because I kept seeing people saying this is not the right place or right time for Sean Zattel to ask that question. Well, when is the right place and right time? Who are you to determine what's the right place and right time? Was this a funeral he was at? No. He was at a boxing press conference with TKO being the lead promoter. And TKO is the ones that are trying to amend the Muhammad Ali Act. So it was the right place and right time. And if you don't think it was the right place and right time, then when I ask you when is, don't tell me you don't know. Then shut the fuck up, sit back, and let the real journalists do their jobs. That's all I got to say about that.
Well said. It was great said. Perfectly said. The
As
one
with
thing,
anything-
so if I could just add to it, is it's funny to me that people been arguing for how long on boxing Twitter and everywhere. Oh, it's across the street. We don't make across the street fights. We make across the street. Well, how across the street will it be if every promotion is its own league? How across the street? You ain't never gonna cross that street. You ain't never gonna cross that street. I'm never gonna see UFC versus PFL. I'm never gonna see it. It's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. And you're creating the ultimate across the street. You're creating walls like what's behind Matt right now. And it won't be a wall that I can run through. It's a wall that no one can run through. Okay, that's what you're creating. You're taking it's funny because when they were talking about it, and the lady asked, and they weren't educated on the matter at all. The people from the California State Athletic Commission at all. They seemed like they were the first they were hearing of it. But she asked, well, could they negotiate a better terms? Could they negotiate the thing? And he said, yeah, but their manager, they can, of course, they could always negotiate, but this seems like what their pay structure is going to be. But they can negotiate. And the guy said, no, you can't. This eliminates any negotiating we have. We have the ability to negotiate right now. I don't understand what do you mean they can negotiate? We could do that right now. What you're asking they can do, we could do right now. What you're asking we can do right now. And it's a very important thing to realize too that Top Rank doesn't have a TV deal. Everyone else is pretty much on his own. You have PBC has Amazon. What TKO is planning on doing is using what they got for this UFC. They're going to bring in boxing with that Paramount deal, and they're going to put fights sometimes on CBS. And they're going to put a league. Everyone has a league, but theirs is going to be the one they think is going to be most viewable. That's what their plan here. They were never going to try to out-promote these guys. They were never going to try to beat them at their own game. They're going to create a complete different game and put themselves as the one that says, oh, but we're the one with a good TV deal. We're the one that has a decent TV deal, and everybody else on DAZN. Dana White just said this. He said, no one's putting on things. He goes, what, DAZN? He laughed about it. He chuckled about the DAZN thing because he knows that they're not going to be able to compete. You put leagues on there, no one's going to tune in to watch. So he could put crap on here because he already said what he's putting on there. He says, I'm going to put crap on there because that's what it is. Because what is that called, Huey, that they have? That little thing where they have a bunch of club fighters fight each other in MMA?
The Dana White Contender Series?
He said, we're going to do a contender series in boxing. That's what he's telling you. He's telling you it's not going to be high level. It doesn't care to him though, because if he has a league and he's able to promote it through the WWE, he's able to promote it through UFC, he's able to do that and put it on CBS. He knows that he'll win that, and no one will be able to negotiate. And then the fighters, the top guys, they're gonna have to bring their deals down to fight there. Also, boxing already has a hard time getting the best athletes to fight it. Okay, not a lot of people are signing their kids up to box. Okay, now the reason why people do that though is they see a guy like Floyd Mayweather, who changed his whole life around, changed his family generationally around. A guy like Canelo Alvarez, who whenever he walks in, he looks like the richest man in the ring when he walks in. Whenever Floyd Mayweather walks in, he looks like the richest man there in the building has walked in. Now you're going to take that away, so there's not even a light at the end of the tunnel anymore. Now you're going to make what a dentist makes. Now you're going to make what a doctor makes. Well, I'd just rather do that than get my head beat in. No one's going to go in there and get their head beat in if there's not a light at the end of the tunnel. One of the guys said, oh, it's only the unicorns that make money in the sport. And the fighter called it and says, hey, yeah, but we're all trying to be that unicorn. Of course, we're trying to be that unicorn. We all want the option to make some max money. And I will say this, at the highest level, stop throwing in club fighters. Stop throwing in fights that happen at bars. Stop throwing fights that happen in people's backyards. At the highest level, guys in the co-main event tonight are going to make more money than guys that will fight on UFC on ESPN. Okay? What he threw in with California and how much money they had paid out for championship fights, it was in the millions. Matt, was it in the millions for they paid for championship fights for men? It was in the millions. And he was saying this like if it was a negative thing. He was saying like, oh, look at this, the thing. This is what we're paying. They were paying out millions of dollars just in California for championship fights. Okay? It's so obvious a play here. That's why it was 100% negative on what they're trying to do here. It's so obvious a play of what they're trying to do here. It's not good for boxing. It's not good for boxers, and it's not good for the fans. I know people want to make sure that say that it's good for the fans. You're a sucker if you believe that. It's not good for the fans. Okay? You're going to lose talent, and over time, you're going to have nothing but club-level fighters fighting in the sport. And they'll say, oh, well, he's the best at this time, but he will be nowhere near the talent that we used to have in the sport. That's the truth of it.
Matt, any follow-ups to that before we move on?
Nope.
All right. So next thing here, we had Gilberto Mendoza have an interview with Bernardo Pilati where he said Tank hasn't asked for an exemption to fight Jake Paul. Matt, it looks like there was a few things here to kind of discuss with this interview. What do you want to start with here? I'll just kind of let you
start with Tank. We'll start with Tank and Jake Paul. Gilberto, amigo, mi gente. Tank doesn't need an exemption to fight an exhibition, my man. Whether you like it or not, the fight's happening. It's going forward, my brother. People don't know. You know what, Huey? Hit my music. The Tank versus Jake Paul bout is going to be approved this week on September 18th at the Georgia State Athletic Commission meeting. Okay? You're going to get the fight. It's already on their calendar. And not only is Tank versus Jake Paul on the calendar, MVP is actually doing a second show that same fight week that's going to also get approved this week on September 18th. It's happening, Gilberto. You got to get over it, Papi.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. There's people saying, oh, this has been approved for all the things. It's going to happen, guys. The fight's going to happen. It's going to happen. And you're right. Them trying to take the belt away from him for having this fight is pretty ridiculous. It's a ridiculous. I don't like the fight, but let's not break our rules. Let's not do things out of the ordinary just because this happened. Hey, it's within the rules to do, then it's within the rules to do. Like, just keep the structure.
I'll tell you this: if Tank gets stripped of his belt, I'm gonna believe that PBC has something to do with it.
Really?
Yeah, because there's no grounds to strip him. Who's pushing for Tank to get stripped?
I'm just saying that's a big claim. I'm just saying.
All right. Well, it looks like there was some PBC topics here in this conversation, kind of circling around Luis de Cubas and how he's working with his managed fighters. Matt, you want to expand on that a little bit?
No, I don't have it in front of me.
All right.
What does that mean? Do you want him to read more, or
yeah?
You want me to read off what you have here? All right. So we have PBC and Louis DeCubas. We know DeCubas manages fighters like Rolly, and he's an independent figure, but he still works with PBC. So he works with PBC fighters like Benavidez. He works a little bit with Canelo. We have PBC kind of isolated from everyone else at the moment. And one of the quotes that we have from the interview is, at one time there were rumors that he was leaving PBC. He might have other interests. What I'm asking is there anyone else in PBC who's in favor with TKO changing the bill, or is it just Tom Brown? Because part of that California State Athletic Commission, Andy Foster did mention that he received a letter from Tom Brown in support of the bill.
Yeah, so from what I can glean from the interview, it seemed, first of all, Hilberto was all over the place, but you could tell he was like really ticked off. He thinks that Louis DeCubas is about to screw over PBC, and he thinks that Tom Brown is about to leave PBC, is what I gather from that. Whether or not that's true, I don't know. But he said that Al Heyman is a man without a country and a man without people right now. He's basically saying that these guys are about to screw Al Heyman over. That's what I got from the interview. No, I don't know if you saw the interview, Ezra, but
no, but like I said, I heard the snapshots. So like he said. Now the question I have is PBC, right? And I asked this before, and I didn't know, so I'm just curious. Do they have? Is there anything they could do contractually to keep these fighters? These fighters can just leave when they want. The promoters can take these fighters wherever they want. Is there anything contractually they have to where they have to fight on PBC shows?
They're under contract with Louis DeCubas. They're under contract with Tom Brown. They're under contract with Samson Lukowicz. And they're under contract with Sean Gibbons.
So these fighters can go wherever they want. They don't have to fight. They're nothing tied to them fighting.
Technically, these guys that I named are their promoters.
It's not looking good. I'm gonna be honest with you. And the way I pointed out that JBZ or that the fight Benavidez fights are going to be in Riyadh season. A few of them going forward are going to be in Riyadh season. I think that's big news. I think that's huge news, honestly. And now these signs, these rumblings, they're kind of coming, right? There's a lot of rumblings of what's going on here, and especially with Tom Brown in support of this the TKO changing the Ali Act.
Allegedly, just because Andy Foster
okay, allegedly. But the guy said it, right? Let's just say this.
Yeah,
allegedly, but the guy said he had a letter.
Andy Foster
said he had a letter, right?
Andy Foster said it.
Yes. And that thing. But I'm just saying, I don't think he says that without having it. That's a pretty bold claim to have without having some support. Right?
Yeah, but to me, it's without context.
Okay, that's fine. But let's just say, right? I think these are all bad signs, and I think that the one thing that's going to maybe backfire the PBC is having the structure like this. I thought that the structure was great for a while. It was working out pretty well, and it was a good trust system between these promoters, and they have the fighters and all that. Well, it looks like this structure, though, has a key flaw to it.
Is it possible that PBC is too fighter-friendly?
Yes, it is. And, similar to what Golden Boy had, right? Where like Golden Boy said, they did this and this and this. Well, they didn't do anything was not within the contract of what they did, right? So you not paying attention to what you're signing and the deals you're making is not PBC's fault for that, right? That's not their fault. Well, this is a similar thing, right? So I think it's to say, they're going to screw them over. In what way, in term, is it screwing over? Just because they had a handshake deal and the handshake deals, they're not going with it no more, right? It's not, I wouldn't say necessarily screwing over, but I will say this, though. It does seem like everybody's kind of going a different direction. And I think we might be seeing some really interesting moves going forward because I think these guys are getting ready for a grand shift in the way we're looking at the sport. What Matt did and what everybody did calling in to the California State Athletic Commission was a great move, right? And then everyone was negative. But I hate to say it, we are going in the direction of changes to Ali Act. I believe that is going to move forward. I believe that there ain't no stopping it. There's the money behind it. There's the right political people in place of it. And there's a lot of people that are just ignorant to it that don't really care and just going to vote for it because who's behind it. Okay. If you heard that one of the things the commission said was, are we going to get more fights in California because of this? I don't know I don't know what the hell that means. I got to be honest with you. I don't know why that's even in exactly. I don't know why that's even in the conversation when you're talking about the health and safety and the betterment for the fighters. Well, you would say, hey, are we getting more fights for this? I thought that was a really ridiculous question to ask. I thought that was really thing. We are heading in this direction. Okay, there's a lot of money being moved here. There's a lot of people that don't have no concept of what this is really going to do and don't really care, because a lot of people don't really care about boxing. A lot of people don't really look into any of these things. They're just going to say, "Hey, push it along," and they're going to say, "Oh, $50 more for these guys that are fighting in a bar." Great. That's all that's going to happen. And these guys, the promoters, the managers, all of them, they're smart. They're there with the business. Every day they're watching it, and they're saying there's a shift happening here. I'm getting in position for the shift. That's what I say about that.
All right. So now moving on to the Ezra breakdown, we went over tonight's card between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. Tomorrow morning, live on Facebook, we have Naoya Inoue versus MJ Akhmadaliev. We have Yoshiki Takai versus Christian Medina and Tosheki. Matt, you want to help me out with this last name? Shimamachi,
yeah.
And Hanso Lee. Ezra, we'll start with you. So obviously, since it's your Ezra breakdown and report card, what do you grade this card, and what's your breakdown for it?
I give this card an A. I really like Inoue versus MJ. I do. I think that I think Inoue versus MJ is Matt, sorry, laugh. I think Inoue versus MJ is a hell of a matchup, and it's a matchup that's kind of been built towards, right? And I think that you're gonna, in people's mind, however you feel about this fight, they feel like MJ is the guy that for Inoue to fight at the weight class. I think that Inoue is gonna. The one thing is that Inoue's shown like little slip ups. I think it's because he sometimes doesn't respect the opponent, and he thinks he has more skill and he can just do whatever he wants to do. And overall, it does pan out that way, right? Overall, he does win shootouts with these guys because he says they're not as good as me, but he got dropped twice. I don't think you're going to see that in this fight because Inoue, I think, respects what MJ brings to the table, and he wants to have a great performance against a guy like MJ. I think he thinks that people are going to be paying attention to this one. People are going to be are really judging me on my performance here. I want to be devastating in this one. And when Inoue is like that, when he's not giving you that opportunity and he's locked in, you're going to see a Stephen Fulton-like performance from him. I think that's what you're getting in this fight. I think there's things that MJ does very well. I think that we got to a point where we're kind of underrating MJ. But what he's good at, Inoue is better. What he's good at, Inoue is better. And that bouncing in and out of style, Inoue's going to beat him to it. And at some points, Inoue's going to time that so perfectly that it's going to be useless to him. And once you take that away from MJ, it's going to be a beating. I like the matchup as far as what it means. I like the matchup as far as I think it has people's interest. But I think this is going to be one way Inoue. I think that Inoue is going to show you once again, hey, this is who I am. I know you saw me get dropped. I know you saw me struggle with Cardenas. But when I'm locked in, there's no one in these weight classes that even could touch me.
So you mean to tell me that this card is better than Baka Murtazalia versus Tim Tszyu?
Yes, the main event alone.
Okay. But what I will say, kudos to Top Rank for putting this fight on Facebook. All right. Facebook has 196 million users in the US and like 60 million users in the UK. I love it. I love it. Anyway, for free, not behind the paywall.
Was that ever an option?
Maybe they could have put it on the zone.
I don't know. I never paid for an Inoue fight in my life.
You pay for ESPN.
Yeah, but I never paid for Inoue though. I'm just saying, like I paid for a thing and then I watched it on there. But I've never paid for my life. I understand that people saying like, "Oh, see, it's free," and it's whatever. I don't care. What do I care? I'm going to watch it, right? But I mean, I think it's pretty telling that it's on Facebook. I got to be honest with you. I think that's
what it's telling me. Go ahead.
Are you still paying for a Japanese boxing app that you subscribed for like 3 years ago?
That wasn't for Inoue though. That was it wasn't for Inoue.
So what this is telling me is that Top Rank cares about having Inoue seen by as many eyeballs as possible. That's what this tells me. Because a couple of these cards that would have usually been on ESPN, they ended up on the zone. But Top Rank said, "Nah, we're not going to do that for Inoue. We're going to put them on the Facebook." I like it. Now we don't have to search for a stream.
No, it works out for all of us. I'm with you, but I think that they looked for something to put on TV. I think they looked for it. Bro. And the reason why, because we could put it on Facebook, you could announce it a week ago. You could announce it 2 weeks ago.
Only in boxing can fans complain about getting such a
I'm not complaining.
star for free.
there's two different conversations to be had. There's a conversation to had is where does Top Rank stand right now,
but we know where they stand right now. They're not with the TV deal right now. Okay,
exactly.
But in the meantime, when you have someone who is of great public interest like Naoya Inoue, we want to see him fight.
Just pay attention to one thing. I understand. I get it. The fight's on Facebook. We're all gonna be able to watch it. It's great. I'm not doubting that. I'm not saying that. It's two different conversations we're having. But what I'm telling you is just pay attention to what's happening with Top Rank right now. Just pay attention to how everybody is talking about their fighters and everybody is scheduling their fighters on their schedule. Just please pay attention to that. Please pay attention that when they announced this, because they didn't announce this like they had it planned. They announced this like this was a last resort. I'm sorry. That is the truth. Okay. Pay attention to how people are talking about their fighters and pay attention to how this was announced. And going forward, people that think they have some kind of TV deal or that, I'm telling you, what we might end up having here is Top Rank is just a managing thing. And they're going to be fighters we find other promotions. That's what we might have here. I don't like, I'm just sorry right now. Please don't put things up there that says Matt is right. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now. Please don't put things up there that Matt is right because we're having two different conversations.
All right.
Hey,
so next fight we have coming up here
for free. Shout out to Top Rank.
I always watch them for free.
All right. Next fight we have here coming up this afternoon on DAZN, Lewis Crocker versus Patty Donovan. Report card and breakdown for this fight. Ezra, if you have any thoughts on it. I
got to be honest, I don't. I don't think it's a good card. I think it's a. Let me give it a D. I don't think it's a good card. I don't think it's a fight that really should have happened. I'm not. I got no excitement for it.
So you mean to tell me that this card is worse than Brock Murtazalia versus Tim Tszyu?
Yes, I tell you that. You finally got one. Yeah, this one is worse.
You're right. This card sucks.
Is this the first one that he's graded lower?
Yeah.
Well, can I tell you one thing?
What I will say though, is there have been rumors circulating, and this is just a rumor. So here we hit the music. There have been rumors circulating that allegedly, I want to make sure I put allegedly so we don't get sued, Lewis Crocker tested positive for cocaine during his training camp. And somehow this fight is still going ahead. I just want to put that out there.
I get the rules. I get all that. We should follow the rules. But as far as like, I'll be honest with you. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I'll be honest. Like, I don't care. We have guys test positive for steroids. They get the win, and then they say, "You know what? It was contaminated." Then now I'm supposed to care about cocaine. I mean, what am I?
But hold on. This is a positive test that you got before the fight, though.
No, I get you, but is that a performance enhancer? I do know this, right?
It enhanced my performance many nights in New York City at the bar.
Allegedly.
This guy's an idiot. This guy's an idiot. Okay. I don't know what to make of that. I want to say this though. If you've been noticing the Matchroom schedule when it's not Riyadh season, when it's not all that, and you're wondering what TKO is going to be like, it ain't going to be too far apart from this. I got to be honest with you. This guy's an idiot, man. I don't know what's wrong with this guy. I don't know what's going on here. But Matchroom is basically giving you what TKO is going to do. I mean, this is a TKO card. I got to be honest with you. All right, keep it going. This is out off the rails. Or maybe it's gone on the rails.
Welterweight title, by the way.
Or maybe it's gone on the rails. I don't know. I don't know if it got off the rails or it got on the rails. I'm not sure.
All right, so last thing we got on the Ezra report card. If you got anything on this one, Ezra, Lourdes Juarez versus Jessica Neri Plata.
I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what that is. I gotta be honest with you. I don't know what that is.
If you had been tasked with reading these names, how would you have done?
I would have. I heard you say it. Let me just pull it up. I heard you say it, and I'm still gonna pronounce it wrong. Right? I don't know if you're even right, but let me do my version of it. Wait 1 second. 1 second.
This is an MVP show championship edition.
Okay.
MVP Prospect 16 championship edition.
That makes sense. So hence headline by female fight. Got it.
Lourdes Juarez and Jessica Neri Plata. Is that correct?
Yeah, close enough.
All right. Let me do other names. Omar Juarez, which I know that one. Omar Rosario. These are actually pretty easily. Desley Robinson. Logan Haller. Great name. Sharetta Metcalf. Oh, Metcalf's back. Metcalf is back. Sharetta Metcalf is back. Versus Crystal Rosado. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, Crystal Rosado, that is Amanda Serrano's hand-picked successor.
Okay, is this whose card is this?
MVP.
It's an MVP card. Okay, all right, great. You know what? I didn't know anything about it, but I think you should tune in. I really like what MVP is doing, so I think you should tune in. I'm going to support them. I support MVP openly. I don't see eye to eye with Jake Paul on a lot of things, but I do see eye to eye with him how he's running his promotion. That is one thing I do see eye to eye with him. All right, I'm ready for the next thing.
Matt, anything on this card before we move on?
No, I just wanted to see if Ezra knew anyone that was on card.
Metcalf.
All right. So moving on to quick hits. Last night, I know a lot of us were watching it. We had Roman Gonzalez be successful in his return to the ring. He got a unanimous decision. What are your thoughts on the performance, and how should Chocolatito say goodbye?
He should say it soon. That's how he should say goodbye.
Bro,
he should say it soon.
He's a legend, Ezra. He's a legend.
That is disrespectful.
Hey, everyone. Hey, everyone gets old, right? Everyone gets old. No one's above it. And I'll tell you right now, it should have been when he lost to Estrada the last one. That should have been it. If I was Justice Crow, I would have said, hey, man, you know what? It was a hell of a run. You're one of the greats. And that was a good one to go off of. That loss was respectable. I got to be honest, he looked old, man. He looked old, and he looked off balance. And that's one thing that Tuxedo isn't. He's never off balance. He looked off balance yesterday. His legs aren't there. I think it's pretty clear that he's not the same guy. I mean, it's pretty clear. It's obvious to everyone. Anyone, you never watched boxing before, you watch two fights, put him as prime, put that, you would be like, yeah, I know what the hell we're watching at. Listen, you keep putting him in there, you're going to get him knocked out cold. There's no need to. He's not a guy fighting for anything anymore. He's already proven. It's already thing. We don't need him to get put out on a stretcher. He already, when I say the sport retired him, he already lost to Francisco Estrada. That retired him. Like, you don't need this anymore. You really don't. It didn't look good yesterday. It did not look good yesterday. That's 100% honest truth. It did not look good.
What I will say, while he did not look great, let's not forget that he was off for over a year. Just shaking off the rust, shaking off the cobwebs. I wrote an article booking the damn territory about the end of his career, and there's 3 names that I think would be interesting for him. We could either have a Bam Rodriguez fight, the teacher versus the pupil, and this could close out the Hardcore 4 era, where Bam will have his chance to beat the last of the Hardcore 4. He already beat Juan Francisco Estrada, he beat Carlos Cuadras, and he beat Sarisuke Sorangvasai. All right, or Takuma Inoue. Naiwa never wanted that smoke with Chocolatito. Maybe the brother wants to smoke with Chocolatito. Or the fight that I think he should have, Nonito Donaire. Huey, hit my music. So I spoke to Rachel Donaire yesterday, who is the manager, wife, and trainer of Nonito Donaire. And they do have interest in finally making that fight sometime in 2026, but they will not put the Nonito's career on hold for Chocolatito while they wait, because there were numerous times where the Donairs thought that they were close to agreeing to the fight, only for Chocolatito's side to pull out of the fight from their estimation. Now, what I do know is that Nonito Donaire will return to the ring in December in Japan. 3 possible opponents are Jason Maloney, Emmanuel Rodriguez, and the guy who I personally think is going to be Daigo Higa. Okay, so I think they're going to do a doubleheader with Donaire and Daigo Higa, and then on the other side you're going to have Antonio Vargas versus Tsutsumi for the WBA belt. Those winners will face off, and then I think in the summer of 2026, if Donaire becomes champion again at 118, we will see Nonito Donaire versus Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez in a retirement fight for both fighters.
Bro, another year from now? Like, I'm just telling you right now. next summer.
The summer, yeah.
Yeah, I know, another year from now.
So,
bro, whatever. Donaire's older, so whatever. But bro, that Chocolatito, I don't get the point of it. I really don't. Like, what does he need?
Two legends. There's two legends that have been orbiting each other for 2 decades, and they happen to never fight each other.
You know what? The word legend means past, right? Like you accomplished this thing, you're a legend right now, right?
Yeah.
We need to stop having two legends fight. I don't care about the two legends. I want two guys that are future legends, future Hall of Famers fight. I don't need Hall of Famers and legends to fight anymore.
I have a wide palette for both. I could have future legends fight, and I can have legends fight.
No, I'll be honest with you. I don't have that wide of a palette. I don't need to see these old guys fight. I don't need to see guys past their prime. They don't even have any balance. He's fighting and he's falling over. Chocolatito, the most balanced guy in the world, who's punching. He's punching and falling over, and he's stuck here, and he has to punch here because he's falling over. There's no point. There's no point to it. It's stupid. It's like I'm saying, it's just meaningless. And this is why when you guys get guys with brain damage, you get you get brain damage, you get all these things, and you say, it's because you keep fighting past it. You don't have it anymore. You're not cognitively there anymore. And then you keep getting hit for no reason. You avoid all that. Avoid all that.
Yeah, okay.
All right, what's next?
All right. So our next announcement here comes from Maryland. So we have an event from Jeter Promotions being slated for November 22nd at the Maryland Live Casino in Hanover, Maryland. A couple people slated to return on that card are Michael Fox and also Derek Scooter Davis, who we just saw have a devastating knockout victory over the weekend. Matt, I'm going to throw it to you first since you had a conversation with them. What are you looking forward to, or what are you hearing about this card?
Let's just keep it going. Michael Fox and Scooter Davis both staying busy. Let's keep it going.
I took it as when you took it as Huey. He's like, skip to the next thing. But okay, no, I get it.
All right. So Joshua James Pagan versus Malik Montgomery, along with Sergey Kuzmin and Murad Khalidov announced. Anything we want to stop and talk about of these two?
Yeah. Did OTX drop Malik Montgomery? Malik Montgomery was supposed to be one of their hot prospects. He lost his last fight, and now all of a sudden he's fighting on this Salida Promotions card against Joshua Pagan, who is a hot prospect. I'm wondering if they cut him after one loss. I don't know what's going on with that, but it's an excellent matchup because Malik Mayhem Montgomery, up until his last fight, was looked at as one of the best prospects in the sport of boxing. So for him to be thrown into this basically as a prospect gatekeeper after just one loss is very interesting. And I think he could resurrect his career very, very quickly with a victory over Joshua Pagan.
I think that's like the most common mistake that's made by like all these promotions. It's just cutting a guy after one loss. I mostly don't understand it. Maybe I'm thinking like they have a deal and they don't think it's worth it because he has the loss on him. I think it's kind of stupid. Like I don't get MVP cutting Ashton. I really don't. I don't get that. I think that Ashton was winning that fight hands down and just got knocked out, right? Got caught. You could get that rematch and or you could just put him in another fight. So it doesn't even need to be that rematch. I don't get it. So when you have prospect lose, I don't think that's the end of the world. I don't get it.
Now let me ask you a question. What does MVP and OTX have in common?
What's that?
They're both new to the boxing game.
Yeah, that's true. But Top Rank does it too, though. Who's been around forever. Top Rank does it too. Like I'm saying, like so Top Rank, if you lose, maybe they'll cut you.
No, but that's different. I feel like Top Rank, they be trying to get a guy to lose so they could cut him.
Maybe I get that. But also, okay, what's his name? Marshall for there was fight on PBC cards.
Trayvon Marshall.
He loses. You're putting him in a fight that was like a step up fight, right? Like to be like make him a
Gabriel Mize today.
Yeah, he gets stopped, and like I never see him again. And I'm like, wait. So in my understanding, it was like either win this or now you're just completely. I can't see you anymore. How does that make sense? Like I'm more familiar with them. I want to see him even after the loss more. I don't get that. I don't know. That's just my thought on that. I think it's like it's thing that's like common in the business, but it doesn't make sense to me. It's like you don't really need to do this. That's one thing that I know for sure. Not to skip comments, whatever, but that's one thing I know for sure that TKO is not going to do. If you lose in their thing, they're going to be like, go right back out there. That's for sure.
That's the end of what we got on the rundown. Anything that you guys want to add before we close out the show? We've run a little longer than usual today. So, Matt, you want to turn it over to the fans or you want to close it out here today?
Let's turn it over to the fans. Let's see what the fans got to say. First of all, Punchboxing Universe, hit the Cash App. Hit the Cash App. Second of all, tell me your thoughts on today's fights. Who are you picking? Canelo Alvarez or Bud Crawford? And how is it going to get done? Let me know. And if you can hear my voice, share this stream with all your friends. This live stream, smash the like button. Let's get it going. I need to know what you guys think. I see Stringer Basquiat says that Top Rank tried to do that with Jahad Tucker. That is exactly right. See? You know what I'm talking about. Even though I still don't fuck with you. I still don't fuck with you. I still don't fuck with you.
Stringer's a great guy.
Nah, fuck that guy.
Is Big Boss our guy Bandalorian?
Yes.
All right. Well, he says you're looking like you're trying to make your case on Maury.
Hey, Bandalorian. Bandalorian. Don't join the block party. Don't join the block party.
Oh, that's funny.
You don't listen. Funny. We went the whole show without playing that Clarissa Shields drop. Don't join the block party. I see Lamondo says it's gonna be a draw. A lot of people are saying draw. Oh, one other thing I wanted to say that's not on the rundown, because we have a little bit of breaking news. The National Golden Gloves Hall of Fame announced their class of 2026. You have Alan Green. You have Charles Hanshaw Sr. You have, hold on, let me pull this up. Hold on. Sorry about that. Uh-oh.
We can still hear you.
Okay, so 2026 National Golden Gloves Hall of Fame. Alan Green, Charles Hanshaw Sr., Christy Martin, who has a biopic coming out about her, and the headliner, I got to get back on camera for this one, the headliner of the National Golden Gloves Hall of Fame, class of 2026, Squad! Deontay Wilder. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go.
Will you be in attendance, Matt?
I might have to.
All right.
I might have to.
Are we going to get a Wilder versus Nagano?
I hope we do.
I do too.
I hope we do. And I hope that's Wilder's last fight.
I'm with you on that. I'm right with that one.
All right, so a couple comments that I started from earlier in the stream when we were talking about the Crawford Canelo fight. Juan from Ever Juan Has an Opinion said that he doesn't think Crawford with 10 ounce gloves isn't the same fighter.
It's a big factor.
Any thoughts on the glove size making an impact?
Factor.
I think the glove size is going to help Crawford because his hands won't hurt as much. He's going to be able to throw more combinations freely.
All right. And then going back to Bandalorian, earlier in the show, he did say the way he kind of sees the fighting, he thinks Bud's going to be surprised by Canelo's speed, but Nelo's going to be surprised by Bud's power. You think that's going to have any impact? You agree with that? Disagree with that? What do you think?
I don't think Canelo's going to be surprised by Bud's power at all. I think that what Crawford will be surprised by is the timing.
This is one that I thought was really interesting earlier. So actually, you know what? We'll go to neutral first. Clearly it seems like he's favoring Canelo with the weight disadvantage being that's going to be, but also the unproven at 168. Matt, I know you were waiting for the weigh-ins and you waited until yesterday to actually make your official pick. What did you see that made you decide ultimately that Crawford was going to win?
He looked good. He didn't look bulky. I was looking to see if he put on lean muscle mass or bulky muscle. He didn't have that bulky steroid belly that Hulk Hogan had for like the last 10 years of his career. You know, he still had the definition. He was cut up. He looked excellent, man. He looked excellent. He looked slim. He looked trim. I think a lot of that weight went to his legs. I think he's going to be sitting down on punches more than people think. And Canelo's in for a world of hurt tonight.
And then last one on the fight here that we had that I starred was BSBB saying he's predicting big Bomac throwing in the towel.
No,
I don't see that. I don't see that at all.
I don't like the disrespect calling him Big Mac.
I didn't read that. I read Bomac in my head. My bad.
Yeah,
that was
I don't like that. That's disrespectful. I don't like that.
Make
like,
the call,
be a real boxing fan. Don't be a dick.
Call.
Be a real boxing fan.
But can I be honest?
Like
okay, if it wasn't the food, right? That's a great name.
Yeah,
if
that was Mama Vi's nickname.
I honestly did. I didn't even think about McDonald's and the sandwich. When
exactly.
I read it.
So I think that's a great name. This reminds me like the time when Kevin Durant didn't want to be known by the Slim Reaper, which was a great nickname, like a fantastic nickname. I mean, come on, Big Mac's right there. That's a great name.
All right, and we just passed the 2.5 hour mark of the show. But before we get out of here, I'd feel remiss if I didn't add this one. Man, Tone wants Mahomes for a reasonable price, Matt.
Malik Neighbors.
All right, Matt.
All right.
It's gonna be a great night, man.
Hey, listen, that's all we got today. I want to thank the Brunch Boxing audience for joining us today. You guys are really active. We love to see it. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you share our YouTube. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Tell your friends and family to subscribe. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, baby. Make sure you also hit the Cash App. Shout out to Nika. Big Nike hit the Cash App. I saw that. I saw that, Nika. That's why I got on camera for you, because you hit the Cash App. All right, so I definitely appreciate that. Make sure you guys go hit the Cash App. Support your boy. Hit the Cash App. And I also have Venmo for those who don't have Venmo, who don't have Cash App. I created a Venmo for you guys. Is that your face? All right, so make sure you guys go check that out also. Shout out to NFLAllDay.com, our sponsor. I'm not off to a great start with my picks. I did pick Washington to beat Green Bay. Not off to a great start. I will admit that.
I'm doing fantastic.
Zach Ertz to score a touchdown, though.
Zach Ertz did score a touchdown.
I'm doing fantastic.
Zach Ertz did score a touchdown. So I'm there. But make sure you guys sign up to NFLAllDay.com. Go support your boys and tell them Brunch Boxing sent you. But this has been another edition of Brunch Boxing. We will be back later on X Spaces. We are kicking it old school with the post-fight edition of Brunch Boxing after the historic Canelo versus Crawford event tonight. We will be back. But for now, we must bid you adieu. Shout out to Mike, the Mexican Al Heyman. Shout out to Huey, the producer. We're working on a nickname. He doesn't like Joy Taylor, apparently. Misogyny. Shout out to the host of Brunch Boxing, the master of the walk and talk, the master of the sit and spit, the John Madden of boxing, Ezra. You know who the fuck I am. I'm Matt. We're Brunch Boxing, and we are out.